Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever second episode of the PCC Gamescast. We might not be the only podcast on the internet. No, so here's what happened. Here's what happened with episode 2. I didn't get it out in time. And the news,
you lost all that footage?
The news was irrelevant by the time, like, I was being crushed by, like, grading papers and trying to build the Pop Culture Cosmos website, and I was just getting crushed. So by the time I finally got around to it, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right, I was supposed to put that up. It was, like, 4 weeks later.
I even asked you about it. I even asked you.
My bad, but this is going to go up on Saturday, so there's that, yeah. Where was I? I had a whole spiel. Okay, we might not be the only podcast on the internet, but you can bet we're the only one hosted by the revered or reviled Josh Peterson, which is me, and his sidekick, the world's most casual gamer, Big Dog Jay Linehan. What's up, man?
What's up?
You're not actually my sidekick.
That'd be really funny.
I would. You're more my bodyguard than a sidekick, you know? Anytime I can't fight somebody.
Well, I would say partner, but that might imply something.
Friends.
Don't say friends with benefits, please.
With bodyguards. No. I don't protect you. I can't do that. You guys get what we're talking about. Anyways.
Josh is trying to say it discreetly that I complete him.
He does. And he also keeps me from getting my butt kicked, so there's that, too.
Oh, yeah. I like the world's most casual gamer, yes.
It's a good nickname, right?
Pretty casual.
It is. It's smooth, you know? It's like a good beer. Just, I don't know where I was going with that. Anyways.
Oh. I thought you were going to go for a double entendre.
We have... No, this isn't Topicocalypse, all right? Speaking of Topicocalypse, we haven't recorded an episode of Topicocalypse in a while, and...
I mentioned this.
Yeah. It's
just like, what the hell are we doing?
It's been a long time. Well, we had so much, like, backup content that it just didn't ever get... We didn't need to record anything for a bit. But that just means that...
I was going to say, we should be close to running out.
Well, we have 2 episodes left. We have 1 episode left. We have yours, which was...
I don't even remember mine.
I did the Star Wars bot, which is out now, and then yours was the crap. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember
what my topic was.
It was something. I remember we talked about it. We made an episode, so
because it was just you and I,
right? No. Brian Kane was there.
Was he?
It's me, you, and Brian Kane. Because remember his topic was education, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways, so when it comes to talking about like pop culture stuff, I'm usually underhanded because Gerald of Pop Culture Cosmos, our good friend and pal and fellow podcaster, is all about numbers and technicalities, whereas I am all about that sweet, sweet story.
So
sweet. Oh yeah. All right, so it's October, and Netflix is practically bleeding content onto their streaming platform. Have you been watching anything good?
On Netflix?
Yeah.
The Ozarks.
Okay, how is that?
It's really good.
I actually have had that show recommended to me 3 times this week.
I was super skeptical at first, but my sister, she kept telling me, just watch it. Right. But it's so good.
All right, so I should definitely check it out.
Yes.
All right. Anything else?
Oh. You know, we were always talking about how there's no good DC movies. There are good DC movies. They're just animated.
Are you talking about Constantine?
It's the same universe. No, it's the newest one that came out. It's on Netflix. It's Batman versus... It's like the Bat Family or something like... Bat Family. Maybe that's what it's called.
Batman goes missing,
right?
Yeah,
it's Batwoman. Batwoman, not Barbara Gordon. It's a different person. Batwoman, new character. Nightwing, Damian Wayne, and... Lucius Fox's son. I can't remember his name, but he's a bat. They call him
Static Shock. Wait,
he's
that
called
was racist. I'm sorry.
He's called Batwing.
Batwing. All right. Is Man-Bat in this?
No, but a grown-up clone of Damian Wayne is. He's the one who defeats Batman and captures him.
Dang.
So spoiler alert. Shit.
Is that like shoot in the Batman Beyond Return to Joker? Remember how everyone thought that he killed Robin, but Joker ended up being Robin or something like that? Was that how that went down?
No.
I'm trying to remember. But Red Hood is...
The Red Hood is Jason Todd.
Jason Todd,
who
yeah.
They never
and
thought
then
the Joker killed.
Dick Grayson is the other one. But isn't...
There's Dick Grayson, there's Jason Todd, and there's Drake. Something Drake.
So he's Robin.
Drake is...
Grayson is Nightwing, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know. In the timelines, it's different. There's different timelines. Like, Drake's in one because there's Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, and then either Damian Wayne in one universe or I can't remember his first name, but Drake in the other.
Why is it so dang confusing?
Well, I don't remember Drake ever being anything other than the Arkham series games.
Red Hood, right?
No, Jason Todd is Red Hood.
Wait, Drake is
the one after
He's the
Jason
Teen
Todd.
Titans Robin, though. Right?
No, Dick Grayson is the one who is the Teen
Wait,
Titans.
so who's
Robin.
Nightwing then?
Dick Grayson.
Oh.
He was the Robin. He's the one who's with Starfire.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you watch that show yet?
Which one? No.
Titans. It got renewed for a second season before like they even.
I was gonna say did they even air the first episode yet?
No, it was before the first episode was even released. They put it down for another season.
Oh.
I do want to watch the new Constantine cartoon movie. City of Demons, I think it's called.
Did you ever watch the one Justice League Dark?
I did, and that was really good. Dude, what happened?
And then Son of Batman. Did you ever watch that one where he meets Damian Wayne for the first time?
That's the one where his son was trained by Ra's al Ghul, right?
His grandson.
Yeah.
His mom is Talia al Ghul.
Yeah.
Dude, those movies are good.
They're good, man. They're
whoever took over for Batman. I don't know his name. I'll remember.
It was Kevin Conroy before.
It was
right?
Kevin Conroy, but it's not anymore. I don't know who does it, but he is so good. He also does the Batman in the new Justice League. It's the same Batman.
Oh, really?
In that universe is in the new Justice League movies.
Well,
I think what's the newest movie that came out was Superman Dies or something like that.
And that had already been released. So the Death of Superman, where he fought against Doomsday. That's what.
Yeah,
part
but
of
that was this universe's iteration of that.
Okay, because part of Batman vs Superman was based on that comic book.
Yeah. No, this is a different. This is in that universe.
Got it. All right.
But
yeah.
dude, that's where the good DC content is. It's not the TV shows, which they have good TV shows. The Flash is good. Arrow, and
Supergirl.
I haven't really watched Supergirl.
I
can't say it's very good. I haven't watched it. What's the one with
Legends of Tomorrow?
That one's all right.
Isn't
I think the writing is getting better.
Is Constantine in that one now?
Constantine in which one?
Legends of Tomorrow. Wasn't he supposed to be part of the team this season?
I don't know. I haven't watched. I haven't watched past the second season.
And is Black Lightning part of that universe?
Okay. I'm pretty sure. Yes.
I know.
Well, that doesn't even matter because the Supergirl is part of a different universe. Remember, the Flash crosses over
they
into
combine
that
them. Yeah, they're having a big thing too. Like this time it has Supergirl, and then somehow Barry Allen becomes Green Arrow, and Oliver Queen becomes the Flash. It's just like a weird.
Oh, it's like a crossover episode.
A weird toss-up. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but still, that's a good shows, and the movies are shit. I actually liked Man of Steel, the first one.
I did too. So allegedly, he's officially done.
Yeah,
Cavill.
Yeah,
they made they tried to be really ninja about the announcement.
Well, he wasn't. They were the ones trying to be delicate about it.
No, but they hadn't officially said anything until
I know.
Like last week.
Yeah,
when it was like they said we're stepping away from Superman and Batman movies.
Yeah,
and that kind of pisses me off because you can't if you don't have your main two ironed out. The rest of your stuff's going to be crap. You might get a lucky.
Then what's the point of the Aquaman movie or the second Wonder Woman movie?
Well,
great. I'm sure there'll be great standalone movies, but I'm just saying, you like all the Marvel movies. Yeah, it's a Thor movie, but the Hulk's in it, or it's an Iron Man movie, but Captain America's in it.
See, that's my thing though. Is like you watched Wonder Woman and you're like, this is cool because she's going to be back in Justice League and she's going to be kicking ass alongside Superman and Batman.
Yeah.
Aquaman is Aquaman. It just looks funny. It looks like a good movie, a decent flick. But what's it building?
I think it'll be good.
I think it'll be good too. But what's it all building towards? It's not.
Yeah, I know they were going somewhere with the whole dark side, and all that story.
Because here's the thing: they're so concerned with like these. I don't want to say redheaded stepchild properties, but like these off properties. Like, because they're trying to pump diversity into the DCEU, and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong; I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but it's like they have all these like Birds of Prey and even Suicide Squad, which is cool because James Gunn has the next one. But they have all these lesser known properties, Batgirl, and they don't even have their big bads, their big players ironed out. And now stepping away from making a Batman and Superman movies, like that seems completely ridiculous.
Because they've totally
to me.
fumbled it. What else are you going to do? You have to step away, rethink your stuff, and give people enough time to kind of forget the past movies, and then reintroduce it.
Recast and move on. Like that's what I would do.
It would just be easier to reboot.
Right, but with Marvel, they had Iron Man and Captain America. They did all of their films first, and they gave them the respect they deserve, and then they started.
Well, they gave them a chance to stand alone.
Yeah,
they're not throwing the assembling part out there first and then disassembling it as you go.
I think
Marvel has a great system where they have their separate movies and they all come together.
Right.
Then they could split apart again because of something, and they have their separate movies and they come back together.
Yeah.
And they split apart again and come back together. That's the phases. Phase 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Right.
But DC just cannot get a cohesive thing going.
Properties out all over the place. But I was kind of hoping to see Justice League Dark eventually, because I know Guillermo del Toro was attached to that originally. Remember, and they said Colin. What's the guy's name? His last name? He was in Fantastic Beasts.
Farrell?
Colin Farrell. Yeah. He was supposed to play Constantine or something. There's all these rumors flying around a few years ago.
Oh, you should just get what's his name to do it. The guy who played it on the TV show. He was so good.
I know, Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag, man.
Yeah.
I have been watching. I just got done watching The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix.
How was that?
It's so good, dude.
Yeah?
Like, I do not compliment shows and movies often, and you know that.
Uh-huh.
But this was so good, dude. The writing was so good.
I'll have to check it out now.
It was so good that the world's only writer besides Stephen King, the world's... I fumbled that line, man. Ooh. That's my bad, yeah. It's so good that Stephen King, the world's only writer besides James Patterson, of course, took to Twitter and had this to say about it. The Haunting of Hill House, revised and remodeled by Mike Flanagan. I don't usually care for this kind of revisionism, but this is great. Close to a work of genius, really. I think Shirley Jackson would approve, but who knows for sure. It's pretty high praise, you know?
Yeah.
Stephen King's humble man. I especially loved what he said about Twilight. Did you ever read his tweets about Stephanie Meyer's Twilight?
I'm sure they were golden.
Saying something like, I don't remember word for word, but saying something like it feels like it was written by a 6-year-old or something like that.
Well, that's who it was playing to.
Yeah, pretty much.
Simpler minds.
Simpler minds, man. Simpler times. I did, what else? I was watching some of Norsemen on Netflix.
Yes, it's pretty funny.
It is pretty funny. Like, I didn't know that's what it was.
Yeah, I didn't either until I started watching it.
I thought that is another, like, knockoff of Vikings. It kind of is, but it's a parody.
It's a parody.
Yeah.
It's just a parody of the Viking movies in general, genre.
Right. Oh, it's good, man. It's
like the substitute chieftain.
Yes. It's so not what's the word I'm looking for. It's the comedy is very subtle. Like it's like The Office.
Yeah, it's just like dry.
Yeah, it's dry and you have to really be paying attention to get the jokes. Yeah. It's
subtle. It's subtle humor.
Subtle. I like it. I love it.
Cuz it's real humor. It's like stuff you would say in real life.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's like it's casual conversation, and the
it's pretty much a
modern.
It's a pretty much a modern day sitcom set in the Viking era.
Yeah.
Nothing's better when grilling your favorite meal than adding some delicious Wheelie Q rubs, seasonings, and gluten-free barbecue sauce. Made with the finest ingredients, Wheelie Q products pack a ton of flavor to your meals, whether it's ribs, chicken, steak, hamburgers, fries, or vegetables. To get your hands on some of these tasty Wheelie Q items, head on over to www.wheelieq.com, and a portion of all profits made will go into finding a cure for spinal muscular atrophy. Pop Culture Cosmos listeners, act now and get 15% off your order just by entering the promo code POD1, that's P-O-D and the number 1 at checkout. For the tastiest food on the grill, nothing's better than Wheelie Q items today at wheelieq.com.
Once again, this is the PCC Gamescast, the best place to get all of your video game news and occasionally other topics pertaining to the world of pop culture and technology, because we're nerds, right? And that's what nerds do. We talk about stuff, nerd stuff. Anyways.
Whatever. we talk about whatever.
Every week you can join us on our live stream, which is coming soon, or find this podcast on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, podcast.com, and other great podcasting outlets through the Pop Culture Cosmos and Humanican Media channels. Also, this episode of the PCC Gamescast is brought to you by Miracle Fruit Oil's VitaBrace high performance gaming wristband, but we'll have more on that later. Now, Big Dog.
Yes.
It's the fall.
It is.
And
leaves are falling.
Leaves are falling. And as we know, nothing good is ever released in the fall, right? It's a slow time for video games.
Yeah, you got to wait till more winterish.
Yeah, you got to wait till
the holidays.
February, right? That's when all the good games come out. Good time to start burning through that back catalog, right? Just kidding.
No, seriously.
No, seriously. But anyways, gaming season has begun, and I'd say that it officially kicked off with what? Shadow of the Tomb Raider, or would you say Spider-Man?
I'd say Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. But so far, we have gotten our hands on Forza Horizon 4, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Spider-Man, Mega Man 11, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I'm sure I'm forgetting other games we'll get emails about. I want to know, what have you been playing, and have you had an opportunity to play any of the newer games?
Yes. I played Forza Horizons 4.
I was hoping you'd say that. Tell me about it.
Oh, I like it. It's really easy to get back into.
It's such.
I haven't played a Forza game in a while,
right? But it's such an easy game to play, and
I like the physics.
The physics, and I'm not saying that the game is easy. Like it's a very challenging game.
No, very challenging.
Did you do any of the danger sign stuff?
No, not yet. I just did the basic races, and I did the Halo level.
Okay, all right. So
like 3 or 4 times.
I love it. No, but it's such a beautiful game, man. Honestly, like the open world setting. If you just looking at and not just the way the seasons change, but like everything has so much detail. Like you go into the trees. You drive through the grass searching for the barns, like the way the dust kicks up.
Yeah, it's not like you're just on a track doing circles and circles and circles. No, you actually are doing things.
They actually, like the countryside.
Yeah, you're driving on like a real road.
Yeah.
There's it's pedestrians and stuff.
Right. And other cars do okay, speaking of which, I was going to tell you this. Your brother's Drivatar drives me absolutely crazy.
He's not played that in like a long time.
I know, but for some reason, my game makes his Drivatar like the most difficult person to drive against. And when I'm just cruising, trying to get those skill points, build up those skill points, rack them up, he just comes out of nowhere and he hits me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know.
Because he can.
I honestly do, but... No, dude, the attention to detail in that game is crazy because even when you're driving through the trees and you look off into like the sky, you see the sun going through the leaves and stuff, and it's not all pixelated. It honestly looks...
No, it's legit.
It's legit, yeah. So how do you feel about the seasons?
I like it. Anything you can do to broaden your landscapes or play styles, different things you can add, make it better. Don't want to do the same thing over and over and over again.
Right. So did you find that you had to use different cars during different seasons?
Oh yeah. There's you want something that is more grippy in certain seasons versus fast and loose in the others.
Well, like for winter, I found a majority of the time I was using a Jeep SRT.
Anything all-wheel drive.
All-wheel drive, or what was the other one? Land Rover.
Yeah, for big 4x4s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was... I love it. I made the mistake. So I finished the game while it was in winter, and I made the mistake. I went through the achievements trying to figure out what I could still do without having to spend another, 10 hours on it.
Yeah.
And I did all, the side stories, the side campaigns. Like, did you do any of the, the Drift Club or the stunt driving or any of that stuff?
No. I just started playing the other day.
All right. Yeah, because they have four campaigns, and they actually have narratives on them.
I like narratives, yeah.
So you get out, and, one of them is you are hired as a stunt driver. Mm-hmm. The other one you're hired as part of a Drift Club. The other one you're hired to drive cars for a Twitch streamer. and as she's counting down like the best racing games, and they talk about Project Gotham Racing and
Need for Speed,
of
all
course,
those.
yeah, all the classics. They don't say Gran Turismo though.
No, they don't.
Yeah. But yeah, they have that, and there's also like you open a business, so it's kind of like in Assassin's Creed 2 when you walked around, you renovated the businesses,
Yes,
and you got money kicked back from them. So in this one, you open a shop with this guy called the World's Fastest Cars or whatever, and it's a car rental place, and so you go and you test out all these supercars, and after you finish each stage, you get money from people renting those cars. It's the NPCs, obviously. But
so the better you do in that car, the better it'll sell.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But yeah, I made the mistake of I finished the game in the winter, and I got I was trying to do all the danger signs, the jumps where you get the points
Yes.
for. And I had the Ferrari Special, how do you say that?
Special.
And I got that, and I was trying to score on some of those jumps. Dude, they're crazy hard to score on. Because like some of them are just like right out in the middle, and like you not middle, but they're on flat land, so it's not really a jump to it.
Yeah.
And I was using the Ford GT at first because I had a tricked out rally edition of it.
Okay.
And I was going through the snow, and like I was getting some points on it. Love drifting in that car, really cool. But I was not really there's in the snow you don't get the speed that you need to do the jumps.
No.
So
you need something with more grip, more torque.
do. So I thought that maybe I needed more horsepower, so I changed to a Ferrari.
No, more torque.
And that just made it even worse.
No, torque, not horsepower.
All over the place. I know, but dang, dude.
Something all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
You could do it in the Lamborghini Aventador. That's all-wheel drive.
Could you?
It's all-wheel drive.
Do you know what is a good... I had this conversation with my dad one time, and we were talking about the Bentley Continental GT, the W12.
Yeah.
And I was like, what would make a really good rally car? The Bentley Continental, because it's all-wheel drive, and it has so much power.
So heavy.
It's so heavy.
No, you will punish that suspension. You'd have to seriously beef it up to accommodate the weight.
But I almost feel
you almost need like rally truck.
But I almost feel like having a heavier car on dirt is good because it helps you handle. It means you're not going to slip all over the place.
You push harder into the turns, dude. It's like a muscle car versus
but it seems like
Honda.
You're less likely to have the back end kick out.
No. Yes, you are.
Are you? Okay, well, here's the weird thing about it is that same night we sat down to watch Top Gear, and James May had taken the Bentley Continental GT on a rally driving course, and it did amazingly.
I wouldn't trust it, but all right. It's just too heavy.
It is. I mean, it's a heavy car. Dude, it's a marvel of engineering, though. 2 V6 engines welded together. It's crazy. I love it, though. It's about what they come. It's like 100. I was looking online. A used one's about 125,000.
Oh, you're gonna get one?
No.
Yeah, you're gonna trade it in the Challenger, get a Bentley.
Oh, you're gonna get one.
Oh, you're gonna get one. You're gonna get one. Just get the Jag. Just get the Jag,
dude. There's a guy. So
I work across the street from the Lamborghini dealer. I see.
Do you?
I see McLarens, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Aston Martins, Porsches all day long.
The guy.
They're constantly revving them across the street while they're moving them around and washing them and working on them.
The school I work at.
It's amazing. These guys, all they do every day is wash these cars before they put them out in the lot.
What's it? Remember Matt Boudreau, who we used to go to school with?
Yeah,
he was a valet parker down in Newport, and like he got to drive around in Lamborghinis and Ferraris and all that stuff.
It's not difficult.
No, but
it's Red Dawn.
It's crazy though, man. Yeah, Red Dawn. We're gonna be invaded by North Korea. Wolverines. Doesn't what's his name? Josh Bell look like he's shaped like Majin Buu. Like he has a big head, and he has like a slight curve in his spine. So when
because he used to be fat.
Yeah, but when he's like leaning forward, his head he reminds me of the.
Well, he's always hunched over.
Yeah, he reminds me of the Gray Buu from Dragon Ball Z. Remember when Majin Buu and the Gray Buu fought?
Yeah.
And originally, like the argument started over like cookies or something like that.
Oh God, yeah, something like that.
Anyways, so how are you feeling about Forza Horizon 4 so far? Are you gonna finish it?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Dude, probably spent 20 to 30 hours on it, and I got to level 87, finished the game. It's one of those games like I loved every second of it, and you know, if the open world setting is any indication, and Playground Games really is taking over the Fable franchise, I honestly feel like it's in good hands.
Yeah, because the last couple of Fable games kind of bombed, and they were sucking.
Right. But Fable was Playground Games was originally attached to Fable Legends. Remember, for a bit they were designing the world.
Yeah.
And then that game got shut down. So it makes sense that they would be doing Fable 5 or whatever is coming out next. Or was it Fable 4? I'm thinking we're going to see an announcement this year at E3 or in June.
Oh, hey, what did you think of? Completely off topic of games, but back. What do you think about that? The screenshot for the new Star Wars TV show, The Mandalorian.
Okay, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I am 100% over Star Wars.
Yeah,
I really liked Solo. I know you didn't, but I don't care that much.
It's just too much. It's too much content. You're flooding the market.
There's so much.
It's
content. Like I don't care that
you're just ramming it down our throats to try to make money.
Right. So it's the same concept with like Marvel. I don't care that there are shows on Hulu. I don't care that there are shows on ABC. I don't care there's like a FX with Legion or whatever. I don't care that they have all those shows. I'm not going to take the time to go back and watch all of them. I know with Star Wars, though, that George Lucas was working on a show, like a street-level Star Wars show, which is basically, it feels to me like that's what The Mandalorian was.
It looks like it's going to be kind of like a Western kind of...
Right.
Like kind of like Firefly-ish.
Yeah, so Star Wars 1313, when that was coming out, that was George Lucas wanted that to run side by side with the show that he was working on. So I feel like we're going to get elements of George Lucas's vision and Star Wars 1313.
I was super down for it right up until they were going through everybody who's working on it, and I saw Kathleen Kennedy, and then I was just like, I'm done.
She got hired on for another 4 years, though.
What? I don't know fucking why.
Yeah.
You fucking ran the entire thing, a $1 billion empire, into the ground. You made all the diehard fans hate it.
This is going to sound bad, but it's because she's a female, and she's got that image. But
No. It's because she works for Disney. It's Disney.
But I think that having her in charge it's a good image for them, but it's also she's going to be having a lot more stipulations on what she does.
I don't really agree with that. I think if it was a woman, I think it'd be fine if someone else could do it. Jesus, but I just feel like she's too Disney-fied.
No, that's true. Do you remember Rogue One? Gareth Edwards, he made that film, and Disney thought that Kathleen Kennedy especially thought that it was too dark.
It was fantastic.
But they had
there
to go
are
back.
Parts of Solo that are like that.
Yeah, but
the first 20 minutes of Solo.
It's super, dude. It's
super good.
It reminds me of Blade Runner.
Super good.
Yeah.
It's just when it gets to the more serious bits when people are dying and they got this happy music in the background. I don't like. There's no real emotion. Like the dude's wife dies and he's just like, oh well, I'll be moving on to the next job. You know that kind of stuff.
See, Solo, if anything, reminded me of Firefly.
It reminded me, it's a TV-friendly movie.
Right.
But that's not what I wanted. But I wanted Rogue One. It's what it was marketed to me as.
Here's the thing, though. I still have a bad taste in my mouth from Episode 8, right?
Yeah.
So Solo, I think I liked it so much because it was such a drastic departure from the anger I had towards Episode 8.
Yes and no. I feel like I was more harsh on it this time. I'm gonna try it. Since you said that, the last time we spoke about it, I'm gonna try and rewatch it and see if I like it.
Okay, when you watch it, don't hold it accountable to any other mythology. Okay, just watch it for what it is.
All right.
And you might be pleasantly surprised by it.
Yeah. All right. I'll try it. I'll give it another shot.
Because when I sat down, I didn't care that I didn't want to think about Jedi. I didn't want to think about Rebel Alliance or
no major stakes. I wanted a small movie. I likened it to what I wanted it to be, and I can't remember what the hell I said before. I don't remember.
It reminds me of Outlaw Star, in a way.
Yes.
Not completely, but in a way.
In a way, but even in Outlaw Star, there were serious moments.
Oh, that was like the most serious anime I've ever seen.
That's what I wanted from Solo, and I just felt like I didn't get it.
They wanted it
like you built up these characters, and then they die, and then you're just kind of like, oh, we're just gonna move on. Da, 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 da.
Right.
You know,
I didn't like
I love
how
the cast though. Love the cast.
I love the cast. I didn't like what they did to Woody Harrelson's character in the end because you didn't know, like, there was no reason for him to betray them. That was my only critique of that movie. There's no reason for him.
Well, there is, because he knew that she was going to blame him for everything that happened.
You think?
Remember, she told the guy at the end. I'm not going to try to spoiler alert it, but the guy at the end, she blamed it all.
Paul Bettany's character?
No. Woody Harrelson's character. She blamed it all on him. She said that he went rogue and killed the Paul Bettany's character, her boss, and tried to steal the money and all that stuff to cover her tracks as to why everything she stole the money and all that stuff.
But it's
he
weird
knew
to me
she was
because-
going to double cross him.
But when I saw that, don't you think that the dude, who we won't spoil who it is, don't you think he can use the Force to read minds though?
Yeah, what do you, like as to what? But maybe he likes that she's lying.
That's a good point. He's trying to
make her into what he wants her.
That's a good point. But Alden Ehrenreich, I think his last name is.
Yeah.
He is signed on for 6 movies, so I feel like we're going to be
I
seeing
thought
him
he
again.
did a decent job. Like I said, in certain parts of the movies, he was brilliant.
He got a lot
He
of-
could be serious. He can be a serious actor.
Yeah, he got a lot of crap. And that bothered me because I thought he was okay.
People were way down on him.
Yeah. It's not his fault. He had huge shoes.
You know, I hate it. I hate it when people complain that they don't look like the actor that played him before.
Right. But no matter who they put in the role, it's just like if they were to cast, a teenage Luke Skywalker, whoever they put in the role is going to get crap because you can't fill those shoes.
No, because Mark Hamill was a teenager when he started.
Right.
You have to get someone that looked just like him, which it's funny because what's his name looks exactly like him.
Who?
The Winter Soldier.
Oh.
Have you ever seen a side-by-side shot of when he was young versus the Winter Soldier?
I mean, obviously, there's more muscle.
What the hell is his name?
Sebastian Stan.
Sebastian Stan, sorry. They look super similar.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm going to see if I can pull it up.
Isn't
here.
it crazy that I can tell you the name of the Winter Soldier's actor, but I can't, recall the name of, or, how to do math problems from high school?
Oh man, I was whipping out. I can't remember what whipping out. I was throwing out these freaking quotes from these movies, and they're like, "How do you know that?" I'm like, "Because that's what my brain retains all the use that I might say someday."
Well, it's weird because this stuff actually comes up in conversation, whereas
pi r squared times the x to the second power doesn't
the
really come up in
quadratic
conversation.
formula I'm not going to be using in conversation. Hey guys, this week's beer choices are brought to you by Shock Top and Modern Times.
What a shocker!
What a shocker! See, that's got a lot of head on it.
All right, bro, chat show.
Okay, let's hear it.
Let's see.
Wait a second.
That is Sebastian Stan.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Why does he have the same haircut?
Well, because he's wearing a wig. They've superimposed it with a wig. If you put that wig on him, he looks exactly like.
No, but
Mark Hamill.
he's so much buffer than Mark Hamill.
No, he's not. You saw him in the Covenant.
Did I?
That's his regular size, dude. He has to bulk up, just like Chris Evans does.
So if they had a Luke Skywalker with a metal arm, he'd definitely dominate, right?
Luke Skywalker does have a metal hand.
He does, but he doesn't have a metal arm.
It's like the forearm.
And he was not experimented on by Zoloft.
Zola.
Zoloft is a depression medication, right?
Brought to you by Modern Times. But dude, he super looks just like him.
He does. I'll give that to you.
He could super play young Luke Skywalker.
You know, I just want to see the Skyhopper be used because I had that toy as a kid.
Oh my god, that's what you want to see?
That's what I want. If they're gonna have an adventure with him on Tatooine, I want to see the Skyhopper get used. I want to see him in what's his name?
What's that? No, hold on. What's the comic book series? We just talked about it. Shadows of the Empire.
That's such a hard game.
But there's comic stories where where Darth Vader or the Blizzard guy, Prince Caesar, was trying to kill Luke Skywalker to get back at Darth Vader. And Darth Vader's trying to capture him, and this guy who's supposed to be working with Vader is trying to kill him.
Wasn't Caesar was a...
He's head of the Black Sun.
Yeah, but he had the
Oh my God,
ability.
we were like really, really getting nerded out here.
He had the
way
ability
into the far
but he
reaches
had the
here.
ability to use the Force, but he didn't really care about it.
No, he didn't have to. He didn't.
No?
He couldn't use the Force. No, he super nerding out here because I know this because I read stuff. Is he can read and emit pheromones.
Do you know what we need to do? We need to do a Let's Play of Shadows of the Empire.
Oh yeah, I thought you were gonna say trivia because I'll wreck you all.
All right, I think we need to get back
like
to
it is like at Disneyland where they have that like quiz before the ride, the Star Tours quiz,
and it shows you like who stole who's
like what planet is Chewbacca from, and all this other stuff. Dude, I ace that every time.
Dude, I cannot remember any of that stuff.
It's from Kashyyyk, by the way.
Kashyyyk.
You slid up here. You slid.
I know, dude. Like yeah, I can tell you like actors' names and what other movies.
You know
they've
what you're
been
bad
in.
at though?
What?
His faces.
I'm bad at faces.
You do that all the time. I'm like, no, it's not, dude.
Really bad at faces. No, with people too. Like I don't.
No, I know.
Real life people, like people I know.
Really?
Like, I don't. Yeah, I have a hard time with that.
But back to games, by the way.
So you also played State of Decay 2. Tell me about it.
I did. I like the first one. The first one's a little clunky, but the second one is pretty smooth now. I really want to do the co-op now. It's kind of like a sandbox version of what was that one where you're trapped in the mall with zombies?
Not Dead Island.
No, it's
Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead. Yes.
Okay. Because
it's
there's
kinda
also
like-
a
it's
level on
kinda like
Gears.
Left-
Remember?
Yeah, it's kind of like Left 4 Dead with like GTA.
Okay.
Like you run around, steal cars, you get resources, ammo, you find other people. You build like these like outposts and stuff. And you have to like defeat zombie waves and hordes and stuff. And dude, it's fun.
Hordes or whores?
Both
Both.
hordes of zombie whores.
Okay, so I remember when this game came out, there's a lot of articles popping up on like Polygon and Kotaku about how glitchy it was. Are you finding issues with this?
The first game I didn't think was that glitchy.
Okay.
Not anymore.
No, not the first game, but the second game, like up on release, because it had so much. You're allowed to be in a server with so many other people.
Oh yeah, okay. When it first released, it was super glitchy because it
Okay.
kind of was overloaded. But now that they've patched and dispersed everything, and they've got multiple like add-on content and stuff like that. It's bigger, way more refined, way better.
So, what is the structure of this game, though? I haven't really read much into it. I saw a lot of.
You're trying to find a cure to survive. That you have an outlying mission like.
So there is a story because I know a lot of it
Yeah.
revolves around you building like a base or a homestead or whatever.
Yes, the first one you were trying to find. I think it was your family. If I remember, it was your family, and you have to build. You're trying to build a community and like a string of outposts and survivor camps and stuff like that, while trying to do missions to try to find people in Europe and stuff.
Right.
I think, yeah.
So are you digging it? Is it something you want to keep?
Oh, I'm
playing,
digging it. Yeah,
or-
yeah, yeah.
okay.
I mean, like I said, I just started because I got the game. I just got the Game Pass, so
Okay, speaking of games,
because you freaking pressured me into it.
how you feeling about it? There's a lot of games to play on.
There's
there.
a lot of games to play. I'm just browsing now. Like I said, I saw State of Decay on there too, so I was like, oh, score.
Well, they have like Wolfenstein 1 and 2, Doom.
It's cool. Cause casual gamer here.
Casual gamer.
I feel like, oh God, I'm never gonna have the time to finish all these, and it kind of is. It's like, oh, I'm gonna miss out on so many cool stories because I don't have the time to finish this stuff.
But all the big AAA studios.
Thank God to YouTube because people post the damn movies on
can
there,
watch
and I
them.
can get the gist of the games.
All of the first party developers that Microsoft has under their belt, like Playground Games, Turn 10, Ninja Theory, Mojang, Rare, all of these companies are releasing their games right out onto Game Pass day one.
I dig it.
So you're going to be able to play like Halo when it first comes out. You'll be able to play the new Gears when it first comes out. Like you won't have to.
Because who can't afford $10 a month, bro?
Right. But the cool thing is, like, as much as I love,
It makes it so much more appealing to parents of kids who want games. You know, if you just buy this, you just pay this $10 a month. I get to play all these games. It's going to save you so much money in the long run.
like we always talk about, it's the
Yeah.
for a year, it's the cost of 2 games, and if you play more than 2 games, it pays for itself.
Yeah.
It's like a freaking Disneyland pass.
Yes, but yeah, I dig it. I dig it. I kind of wish, but but then I pay for the Game Pass, but then a lot of the games that I like aren't on the Game Pass.
Yeah.
Like right now, like the hell was I saying? We were just talking about it. Jesus Christ. Assassin's Creed, obviously,
okay.
not on Game Pass.
I honestly I don't think that Ubisoft is going to be giving into Game Pass anytime soon because they're doing the
super unfortunate.
but they're doing the Google the Google's game streaming. So
Dude, there's no. I'm not gonna pay for another service. I already paid.
No,
for,
I know,
for
but
Hulu,
like
Netflix, Amazon Prime, and now Game
Ubisoft
Pass.
has partnered with Google to let you like stream games on your browser, so you can plug in like an Xbox or PlayStation controller to your computer, and you can play
like an emulator.
Yeah, you can play Assassin's Creed anywhere you want to. And that's kind of the thing with the Xbox Live streaming service is that now you can go on other devices like your phone and stuff and be able to play, Forza or whatever. They're working on that technology. So do you think that eventually we're going to get to the point where you can, bust out a tablet or something and play Halo? Like, how do you feel about that? The play anywhere, because you have PlayStation and Xbox both trying to compete with the Switch, but the Switch doesn't have
honestly that it's cool for like kids and teenagers and stuff, but
you wouldn't do it.
I would not.
Nah.
I don't have time. I mean, I'm not gonna whip out like my thing at lunch and play some freaking Skyrim or whatever or Halo or whatever. I just feel like it would be just a waste of money to buy.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can take it into the crapper with me and play on the crapper. But
yeah.
Just pause the damn game. It's the same principle as Uber Eats. I think it's the most ridiculous ever.
Remember JB was on the show, friend of the show?
Yeah.
JB. We were over at Jacqueline's one night, and he ordered a bottle of Fireball from Uber Eats, and I didn't know that they bring that to you.
They'll bring anything.
Yeah, good for them.
For the lazy alcoholic.
For the lazy alcoholic.
Or the responsible, I can't tell.
Who knows these days, right?
Yeah.
All right, so, like, I don't know. There's a lot of... What I love about Games Pass is that there's a lot of things on there that I wanted to play at one point, but just never got around to.
It's great. Like, I mean, like I said, dude, if you have tons of time to kill, then sure, it's good.
Right.
But I just feel like it's like a little overwhelmed. Like, I feel like now I bought this, so I feel a little obligated to play these games.
Okay, all right.
To justify it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, God, it's going to take forever.
Hey, well, we are gonna go back. We're gonna do Let's Plays of us playing.
Let's Plays.
Through
We're still talking about going back and playing Halo Reach and all that
Halo
other stuff. I mean,
and
swear.
Gears of War.
Good Lord.
I just need the motivation to do it.
On top of trying to rewatch Game of Thrones before the new season comes out, I had no goddamn time.
Oh, we make plans. All right. So as for games that I have been playing, I played Forza Horizon 4, which we touched on a second ago. I have
Josh is touching things.
I did Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, which was originally on the PSP or Nintendo DS. I can't remember, but I don't like it.
Oh, no, you don't.
See, I'm forcing myself through the Kingdom Hearts franchise, and it is making me.
But I hate that. Why?
Because
you feel like you missed out on something.
But I know when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, it's such a like.
No, it's not iconic.
As a journalist, I need to play it.
No.
For content, I need to play it.
All right, fine.
But I can't get into it, you know?
I can't play. There's no way I can play a game that I hate. I just physically cannot do it. I'll fall asleep.
Well, I don't spend hours at a time on it because you go back and you watch a Disney movie, you watch Toy Story, you watch Sword in the Stone or whatever.
I love that movie. Sword in the Stone.
Freaking Robin Hood, dude! I love Robin Hood.
Oh, such a good movie.
I know. What did you think of Great Mouse Detective?
Oh, I loved it. Loved it. It was one of my favorite ones.
It's Great Mouse Detective, Sword in the Stone, Treasure Planet, and Atlantis. My top 4.
Love Treasure Planet,
gosh,
dude.
Don't even get me started.
Such a
on
good
that.
movie.
And the Goo Goo Dolls song.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. But
such a good movie. Watch it.
So I keep expecting that like they're going to hook me. Oh, by the way, Nightmare Before Christmas turned 25.
Oh, don't tell me that.
But
I remember when that came out.
I just real quick. I want to ask you what.
Real quick. You're gonna make me have I'm gonna make me depressed here, real quick. Just a minute while I bring you back down here.
What is it though? Do you think that makes that movie so iconic? Like it did crap in the box office. So why do people like it so much?
Because it was just so radically different from because Disney dominated the animated movie market at the time, and this just different, dude. It was way darker, way different animation.
Yeah.
Everything was different. It was still kind of Disney. There were songs and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But they were good songs. They were super catchy. And everything was good. The acting, everything, the writing. It was just a good movie. It still holds up.
So I was talking to Gerald about this.
What do you classify it as? I classify it as a combo movie. I can watch that at Halloween or Christmas.
Oof, that's a good question. I think that any point from October to January is a good time to watch it.
Yeah.
But I was talking to Gerald about this, is the fact that Nightmare Before Christmas, like
it made Tim Burton.
So do you think that it's one of the essential Tim Burton movies? Because
Yes.
I would almost say that Edward Scissorhands was the one that kind of
Wasn't
put
that
him
big
on
of a
the map.
blockbuster like this was.
Batman. Because the Michael Keaton Batman is still considered a classic.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
I love the Tim Burton Batman.
Right.
It's forever my favorite Batman, but I think that it launched it. No, Batman was a good movie, but it didn't really launch Tim Burton. It was that movie launched his style. It's considered the Tim Burton style of movie.
Right.
That's just what it is.
It is. It's dark and
It's dark, animated in a certain way, and everything has got a certain type of story. That really made his brand.
in the
Loved the Batman movie. That was one of my favorite movies as a kid.
he's a good filmmer. He's
Made
very,
Batman my favorite superhero.
He's got a very like gothic contemporary style that
But see, I think that's why I draw towards the darker, like kind of anti-hero kind of a deal.
Right.
I love the idea of Venom or Riddick or all these bad good guys.
it's a different take. It shows
It's bad guys doing good things.
to me it's Hellboy. You know, it's Hellboy whose origin story.
I like someone who ride like right in the middle. They thread that needle between good and bad.
Yeah, well, okay, Hellboy again. Back to Hellboy.
They live in the gray areas.
Hellboy was his whole life revolves around him.
By the way,
bringing an end to
real quick here on Hellboy. What did you
What?
think of that footage I sent you?
I loved it, but
Dude,
I want
it
to see
looked-
the full trailer.
It looked really good.
But Hellboy is.
I know
someone
Ron
who is-
Perlman's gonna be that character was Ron Perlman.
I don't know. David Harbour looks okay.
No.
as Hellboy.
But they made that movie for Ron Perlman. He was their
Right.
first and only choice.
Right. I really wish I could have seen how Guillermo del Toro's trilogy would have ended.
Yeah, no.
He wanted some crazy, like he wanted. I want to say.
I like that Ron Perlman does the voice of the animated ones too,
Yeah, they were supposed to make another one. They never did.
because I think the rights are someone else's.
I don't know. I hope that Hellboy gets the love he deserves. But
It'll be good.
hopefully. But Hellboy, like he's a character whose destiny revolves around destroying Earth, right? Like that's what he was born to do,
It's him raging against it.
right? But you know, in the comic books, like he defies his nature. It's kind of like Lucifer. You know, Lucifer. He's
In the TV show.
The TV show. He gets tired of ruling hell, and he wants to experience something.
He's tired of
else.
everybody
Like,
who's saying he's evil, he's bad.
he's raging against his.
He's raging against his destiny.
Yeah. All right. Also, I've been playing Resident Evil 0.
I don't know.
So Resident Evil 0 is
I haven't played a Resident Evil game in so long.
I know, same. But did you ever play Resident Evil 2 when you were a kid on PlayStation?
Yeah.
So Resident Evil 0 is like a prequel to the original Resident Evil game.
Quick question.
What?
Do you consider the Resident Evil franchise a zombie franchise? Or do you consider it just its own sci-fi franchise? Because it's not really zombies, it's a virus.
Okay, see, that's interesting because in Resident Evil, like the games, remember, it wasn't like...
It had dead people coming out of the ground.
Yeah, but you were turned by getting bit, but those people who got bit were originally turned by slugs, right? Remember, there are slugs in the Resident Evil games that turn people into zombies.
Was it slugs?
It was slugs.
All right, like kind of like a slither?
Right. So I don't necessarily if I would call them zombies. I would call them like infected, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, because in the movies it was the T virus.
Right.
And that's not zombies. That's just a virus. You're being infected by this virus.
Well, it's kind of like 28 days later.
But it does have zombies in it. Because the T virus will reanimate dead tissue, apparently, because in the movies there's a cemetery that rises.
they call them zombies.
They call them zombies. They are technically zombies. They're living dead because they're reanimated flesh. But the
Right.
T virus will also turn living people into monsters.
Right.
So I wouldn't classify it as a zombie movie. I classify it as a like an epidemic movie, like an outbreak movie.
Right. Well, 28 days later, like
Yes.
the rage virus.
Yes, not your atypical zombies.
No, but
Like they don't eat your brains; they're just trying to kill you.
they are. But did you ever play the games on Nintendo 64
Yeah.
or PlayStation?
I played those. I played the ones at the arcade a lot.
Dude, I love those.
Where you actually had the gun.
You had the gun, but in this game, dude, it's weird because the controls are so clunky.
Yeah.
And the story moves so slow. But I remember just like walking down a staircase, and you had that goes to the cutscene of you going, and it shows a staircase, and you're moving down it, and then all of a sudden the game opens up, and you hear this,
Yeah.
and it's not in front of you, it's not behind you. You don't know where the hell this thing is coming from.
But it just lets you know that it's there.
Yeah, but so in this game, you move down the train, and that's what made those games so horrifying, is because you didn't know anything about what was happening.
It's like the Dead Space games.
It's like a Dead Space game, but
Yeah.
like this was the originator, because
Yeah,
I remember
yeah,
playing
yeah.
on PlayStation. I remember playing Resident
Well, if you think
Evil.
about it, it's kind of like Dead. It's kind of Resident Evil in space.
It is. But the original PlayStation, when I was in, I want to say, I was in junior high or the 6th grade when that game came out.
Yeah.
But I remember playing it, and like I was super frustrated at the way the ammo system worked. You cannot, for the life of you, get enough ammo.
Nope,
but
you're constantly living on the edge of running out of ammo.
right, and
Which is actually kind of a cool thing because they've planned it out where if you do it right, you'll just get there with the ammo you get in each pot.
right. Here's the cool thing about the.
Because it's reality.
It is, but with the remasters, you play the games on easy, and there's just ammo everywhere.
What's easy?
It is.
It's not how they intended it.
It's cream puff mode. But
Yes.
I am going to play the remaster on Xbox One when it comes out.
All right. Do you think that all these games are kind of like virus, like transforming people into these monsters? Do you think it's kind of like a ripoff of The Thing?
Well, it is. John Carpenter pretty much inspired all horror games. I'm almost confident I can say that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I feel like these are all these games where people are like getting infected and they're sprouting these limbs or cutting in half and they're like mouths everywhere. I feel like that's just a rip-off of The Thing.
It is, but do you know who's really ahead of their time in that and who deserves to have games based off that
You know
model?
that's a remake, by the way? John Carpenter's The Thing. It's a remake.
Of what?
The Thing.
The Thing?
It's an old black and white movie.
Is it?
The monster. It's a great movie, by the way. It's one of my favorite movies. It's an alien that crashed in the ice, and he's kind of like this plant-based being. And the plants they feed on blood. So his thing is to kill you, turn and then drain your blood, and then grow new aliens.
It's cautionary tales, man. They don't want us looking into aliens.
Yeah. But yeah, an iconic movie that was a remake, but still he made that style. It's kind of like the Tim Burton thing.
Well, what do you
John
think-
Carpenter made that style of movie, just like Tim Burton made his style.
What do you think of James Cameron's The Abyss?
I love that movie.
I
Love
feel like
that movie, dude. I just watched a movie on Amazon. I think it was Amazon Prime. I want to say, old horror movie, super corny, but I loved it as a kid. It was called Deep Star 6.
Okay.
Check it out if you're interested in like these old school like monster horror movies. It's a really good movie. Is these people are like on the bottom of the Marianas Trench, like it's during the Cold War, so they're trying to set up these like nuclear missile sites on the seafloor where the Soviets can't detect them.
This sounds like the
And so
plot to the Meg.
They're on this like area, and so they blow this area to try to set this missile down in there, and they get into this underground cavern, and it's got these giant crustaceans in there, and they swim out and they start attacking the underwater base and stuff, and they try to escape and everything like that, but yeah, it's just super good movies like that. Like there's that genre, like it was kind of like was it James Cameron's
The Abyss.
The Abyss?
So The Abyss was weird because it's the first time like in a movie that I'd seen aliens showing up and just messing with humanity,
Yeah.
It was interesting. Yeah, so I don't know, man. I horror games are
Great movie because it kind of made you think, oh my God, are they really? Because Michael Bihn's character goes crazy from the oxygen deprivation and,
Right.
and psychosis or whatever. Like you're kind of wondering, oh my God, are they all having this and this is all a dream or a hallucination,
right.
or is this really happening? But it turns out it's really happening, and there's aliens on the sea floor with us.
Dude, I remember I watched in the same week I watched The Abyss and The Thing and The Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
I never liked Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
It's a slow movie, but it's an essential.
Yeah, it's an essential, but I never really liked it.
George Lucas gave...
Did you ever watch Invaders from Mars?
No.
Where
it's like Mars Attacks?
No, there's these aliens in there like under the ground, and they have these things that'll suck people down.
No, I didn't.
And then they'll drill these things into the back of your necks, and it makes it so they can control you.
Jeez.
And so you're I think I talked about this in a previous episode, where you could tell who was taking over because they had a Band-Aid X across the back of their neck where they had drilled it in. So
Right.
that was the giveaway that they had been turned. And so this kid's running around, and his mom and dad have those on the back of his neck, and they're trying to grab him and stuff. It's a kind of a terrifying movie, but it's a really good sci-fi movie.
Did you ever watch Tales from the Crypt?
All the time.
Remember the episode
That
where
and X-Files, bro.
Do you remember that episode where they had like these people had like parasitic cockroaches or whatever living in their throats, and the only thing that could kill them was ketchup. So this kid was like all of a sudden aware of all the stuff going on, and so he went around and started shoving ketchup down people's throats.
I never saw that
Just
one.
causing them
No,
to, like cough up the cockroaches.
no, I never saw that one.
Crazy.
Yeah, dude, I lived off that stuff as a kid.
I love
X-Files,
old X-Files.
Twilight Zone.
My dad would.
My grandfather showed me everything.
Me and my dad on Friday nights, my mom did something, like she went out with her friends or something, but me and my dad would sit at home and we'd switch between the LA Kings game and the X-Files.
You're totally throwing him under the bus right now.
I know. My mom won't ever
I know.
listen to this or read anything I write or be proud of me, so it's all right.
All right, Debbie Downer, here, Jesus. Have another beer.
All right, last game I've been playing was Elder Scrolls Skyrim.
For the 100th time.
Not really much to report on that.
It's the same game.
Here's the thing, though. I forgot how glitchy the original Skyrim was.
Oh, yeah. You had when the modding came out, where they had the community patched all the. That's when it was good.
So on Skyrim, I had 10 quests. Did 10 quests, was only able to complete 4 of them because they all glitched.
Yeah, where you can't talk to the person who you resolve the quest from. Yes, it's super frustrating.
So-
you have to reload it and hope that it corrects itself.
Do you remember when going into Markarth and you witnessed the death in the
Yes,
marketplace and all
yes.
that? So I finished that quest and then I went back
Forsworn.
to and I went back to the Temple of Talos or whatever.
Yes.
Went down the staircase and the NPC that I needed to talk to
Wouldn't talk to
was
you.
dead.
Yeah.
And it was just a glitch.
Don't you remember that in not Oblivion, a Morrowind? You could actually kill an NPC that was important, and it would tell you've just your game up, and you had to quit and reload it. It did not let you do it.
Right.
You could do it and totally screw up your game.
Well, it's the same thing with the expansion.
You killed someone who's integral in the fabric of your reality.
Yeah,
and-
they'll have that warning pop up.
Yeah.
But even in Skyrim, like when I did the expansions, like the dragons would always come and kill the NPCs that I would need to talk to complete the quest.
Yes, that is the biggest problem, was when the dragons would kill people in the towns. Like they would kill all the people that gave out the quest, and you're just like, there goes that whole
What am I gonna
storyline.
do? Yeah. So like at this point, I've come. To
I just got
terms-
in. I just got into the habit of saving before and after I got into the damn town or wherever I was going. I was constantly married to the save button.
Right, but you shouldn't need to do that though.
You shouldn't, but it forces you to be better,
It does.
so you don't have to worry about it. I'm so good, I don't have to worry about it, and that's when you can play the game.
Right.
It's weeding you
I don't
out,
know.
bro.
So I've come to the conclusion that I am not going to finish this game. I'm just going to
You've
trade
already, no,
it.
what do you mean you're not going to finish it? You've already finished it like 10 times.
I know, but on the
Just
Nintendo
doing it on the
Switch,
Nintendo does not
I'm
fucking
just gonna-
matter or change
because
the story.
Pokemon comes out on November 17th, and I'm going to play that
Pokemon.
instead. I don't like I have it here charging, but I've been playing, I play on my Games Pass and I play the newer games, Tomb Raider, Kingdom Hearts,
Played
whatever
a
it
Pokemon
is.
game in like a decade.
Dude, I'm freaking stoked about Pokemon.
Oh my gosh.
All right, we've got some news, but before we get to it, here's a quick word from our sponsor, which is really just me talking about our sponsor. Enjoy the time jump. This episode is brought to you by Vitabrace, high-performance gamer wristbands by Miracle Fruit Oil. Big Dog, you and I play a lot of video games.
Yes, we do.
You ever find yourself in positions where your hands get cramped and you need a break, you got to get up?
Yes.
Okay, well, it just so happens that Miracle Fruit Oil, they made these bracelets right here, and what it's supposed to do is increase circulation in your wrist, makes you less tired, less fatigued, less sore and stiff. It Supposed to give you more endurance, grip, strength, range of motion, mobility, stability, better manual dexterity, coordination, and precision movements. I've been playing a lot of Kingdom Hearts, and it has helped. It has made it so, because, I spent a lot of time working on computers, doing video game stuff like that. It does help. It kind of eases the pain a little bit, or I feel it less. I mean, when I do it without it, you don't really notice it until you take the bracelet off. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
VitaBrace is powered by nature. It contains miracle fruit seed oil, a rare and natural oil that comes from the seed of the healthy miracle fruit berry. The wristband is capable of delivering the oil to your wrist for 4 to 6 months of daily use. The combination of compression, occlusion, and unique oil provides several benefits. If you're interested in getting your own Miracle Fruit VitaBrace wristband, visit their website today at www.miraclefruitoil.com and use promo code MEDIA10 at checkout for $10 off your next purchase. Thanks, Past Josh. I've learned so much since then, and if I could only go back, so many mistakes would be unmade. I wrote that myself. Today on the news, we have 5 things. You ready to dive into this? Let's do it.
You have to edit that out.
What?
I'm not allowed to cuss.
You can say whatever you want to.
Yeah, but you have to edit it for Gerald.
Oh, that's right. Gerald, jeez. All right.
God damn it, you're trying to Disney us.
Cramping our style, man. This article comes from Polygon and is written by Michael McWhirter. Red Dead Redemption 2 will require at least 99 gigabytes of hard drive space.
It's all good. I got 3 terabytes, bro.
Yeah, you ready for that?
Heck yeah.
Okay, so he starts it here. Red Dead Redemption 2 is an ambitiously large game, and it will accordingly require ample space on your hard drive, regardless of whether you're buying it digitally or physically. Before the game launches on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One next week, you'll want to clear at least 99 gigabytes of space to make
You don't have to clear anything. Just go buy an external hard drive.
Well, it's saying that even if you buy the physical copy, it's going to be on 2 discs, like Final Fantasy style.
Doesn't matter.
PlayStation 4 owners will only need that combined 149 gigabytes of installation space during Red Dead Redemption 2's download and installation process. The 50 gigabytes required for that process will be freed up after the game is installed. Those who pre-order the game will be able to start the preload process on October 19th at 12 a.m., according to a tweet from Rockstar Games. All right, how do you feel about this? What is your hype level? How you feeling about Red Dead 2?
I'm feeling overwhelmed.
To me,
too many games, too little time.
To me,
what the hell am I going to do?
I'm not in a hurry to play this game because
I'm not either. Honestly, it can wait. It can shelf until I'm done with what I have.
I've listened to so many podcasts that have talked so much about this game. It's the same thing. Like,
it kind of ruined the mystique.
The mystique. But like, I didn't watch Harry Potter for 6 years after it came out because everyone had talked about it so much.
I kind of got that way with Game of Thrones for a while.
Okay.
Where I was just kind of like, I'm tired of people talking about this
it.
because you're saying that I already know.
Right.
I mean, I was way on this before you were, so I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's anything. It's anything that's overhyped.
Yeah.
You overhype something and it doesn't underdeliver. It just doesn't live up to the ridiculous hype that people build it for it.
Right.
If you just go in at baseline, it'll blow your mind away. You go into it expecting it to, change your complete thought pattern on what reality is. You're gonna go in disappointed.
Right. But I mean, speaking to the size of the game, though, how do you feel about it? Do you think that it's going to be one of those games where it takes you months to finish it, or do you think it's if, like, say a new game comes out while you're in the middle of it? Because God bless whatever game decides to come out within 5 weeks of Red Dead. Do you think that it's going to be one of those games where you can stop it and then go back to it later, or you're going to want to play all the way
every
through
game
it
is like
before...
that. No, every game is like that. Every game can be paused.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't have the ability to do that.
No,
like
I know.
You've
always been the person. That's why you always have, like, you've maxed out the damn, like, achievements. You're an achievement whore.
Right.
That's probably why what's carrying over and for you you have to start and finish it and try to complete the entire thing, get 100% done.
Right.
I'm more into it just for the story, honestly. I could give it about achievements.
Yeah.
I want to be told a story, play through a story. Really, that's what I'm looking for is to play through.
But here's the thing.
Is to play through a movie.
In a narrative-driven game, I have a hard time letting up when it is relies heavily on story.
What do you mean?
I have a hard time putting the controller down. I need to see how the story ends. And if there's...
Well, it's like watching a TV show or reading a book. You go like one more page, one more episode.
If I'm on Red Dead saying like a new...
I'm not saying you're not going to go all out on it. I'm just saying is that, you know, if this game's going to take you a while, you will have to take a break. You cannot play the same thing over and over again. I mean, no game is that good.
Right. So
not even Skyrim was that good, dude.
I don't know. I sank probably about 80 hours into Skyrim.
Oh, I didn't. I'm not saying I didn't log my hours. I'm just saying that game was so gigantic that there was no way I was going to start to finish it straight through, not play anything else. There's just no way.
Right.
I've only ever really beaten the game twice.
Same.
100%.
Same.
Other times I just give up and then I don't remember what I did in the last one, so I'm like, start a new one.
Amen. Love that game. No, but I just like I have a hard time. Like if something else comes out, I have a hard time putting it down. Like I need to finish it. Like Forza, for example.
You know what? It's kind of like that. Is that Star Trek game that I play? I play because they just released new content. It's like a whole another campaign.
Do you have to pay for it or is it free?
No, it's free.
Oh,
it's a free game, free to play.
Yeah.
But it's got like 20 episodes.
Yeah.
And 20 campaigns.
Right.
They keep releasing new ones and new content, new everything every couple months.
Right.
And I've maxed out the character limit of like 14 characters you can allow on the account on one account, and they're all like level 60 maxed out characters.
Ah, dang, dude!
I don't know why I don't know why it's so addictive.
So, do you complete a character 100% before you pick up a new one?
No, not all the time, because there's 3 factions.
Okay.
So I've got like several characters on each faction going at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't leapfrog like that, but I'll complete one to a point, and then I'll go back and do the other one.
Nice. All right.
You can share items across characters on the account.
Right.
So I use that to try to make different characters and stuff like that. Super addictive, and I don't know why I find it addictive, but I that's the game right now that I've logged the most hours on in a long time.
Star Trek.
Online.
Dang, dude.
It's an MMO, is what it is.
All right, so you're going to be picking up Red Dead on day one? Or are you going to
not day one. No. I just got, like I said, Forza, State of Decay 2, and I'm going to buy Odyssey.
So do you want to finish all those games before you move on to Red Dead?
I'm going to get at least Odyssey, I feel Assassin's Creed games I've usually are played start to finish because they're not too long, the campaign games, and they're not. So I'll probably when I buy Odyssey, I'll finish that start to finish without playing anything else, and then I'll get Red Dead. But Red Dead's such a big game that I'll leapfrog between that and the other two.
Okay.
Forza and State of Decay.
All right. Forza is...
State of Decay and Forza are games that I want to play with other people. Odyssey and...
it's a single-player experience. It's a compact...
Something I play by myself.
At least until the DLC
Red Dead is a solo game. There's a multiplayer, but it's a solo game.
Right. Well, the multiplayer I hear is not supposed to come out till January, February.
That makes sense. I feel that's a good market. That's a good move.
Get people to go back to it.
Well, no. They just get the whole experience. You get to play the story, and then you can run and do competitive.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good idea.
But
then there's always the people who are always constantly multiplayer heavy, and they're going to complain.
That's true. They're
going to complain because there's been certain games that have released the multiplayer first. Like I want to say Titanfall is a multiplayer game.
Titanfall, yeah. Do you notice how it's funny how everyone's giving crap to Titanfall for not having a single player campaign, but then Call of Duty comes out and they almost they're practically praising the game.
Okay, I'm sorry. What game was it before?
Titanfall had no single player, but Black Ops 4.
Titanfall is a new game,
right?
So it's not an established multiplayer,
and it's not tied to a
franchise. It's not a franchise.
Okay,
it's not Call of Duty.
There's no lore tied.
There's no lore. There's no fabled whatever.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of the Call of Duty stuff is built upon the mystique of Call of Duty, like 2, 3, and 4.
Right.
I feel like those built the foundation for the online multiplayer community.
They have so many different franchises going on.
Well, you notice that Call of Duty. You notice Call of Duty didn't get competitive until Modern Warfare.
No, but even like Call of Duty, the new one is practically it's it's the orange box. It's 3 different games that are completely separate from one another, but they tie them into the greater universe and the lore by little intro cinematics.
You know what Call of Duty I liked, and I am kind of I kind of want to play it. I'll probably just watch the YouTube movie. But the Call of Duty, the one where it's in the future,
Advanced Warfighter, right?
yeah, the one where Kit Harington's the bad guy, Jon Snow.
Yeah, right.
Dude, that is a legit story. That's a story-driven game, and they hated it.
Yeah.
That's why they go into the all multiplayer, because they tried the story. If you play that game strictly for the single-player story, it's a great story.
So do you think the issue is that like Infinity Ward and Activision, they just need better writers, and Treyarch? I think they just need better writers, and that would fix this whole thing.
Well, it's lazy.
It's because
it's lazy, and you're trying to market your game to a certain community.
They are a company that is 100% focused on multiplayer.
Okay, so here, take this. Halo.
Right.
Both giant, equally story-driven and multiplayer.
Right.
But yet, not a competitive powerhouse. You don't really have any... I mean, there are. It was at one point, but not anymore. It's not a competitive game.
No, but Halo is one of those games where there's so much focus put into the lore, the Forerunners, the Covenant, the Precursors.
But you could still pick it up without playing the single player and play the multiplayer.
But there are, like, I don't know why I'm pointing over there. I sold them. There's novels, a whole series of novels that are based on, like, completely connecting the lore to all the games.
Yeah.
There's comic books.
Yeah.
Dark Horse, Marvel, all these companies have made comic books for Halo.
Yeah.
So
what are you saying? But Call of Duty is built upon history, bro.
Right. But Halo really cares about its single player, where Call of Duty never really cared that much. That's why you could play.
It did.
I don't think so, because you could play through the campaign of Call of Duty in 4 to 5 hours, whereas Halo would take you 6 to 8 hours.
But back in the day, that was considered the average for a story.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You could march through Zelda in 4 hours.
But see, what I always loved about Halo is that you and your buddy could sit down, like when Combat Evolved came out.
Yeah,
I remember after.
But you're still aiming for a single player campaign shared with multiplayer.
Exactly. So like
you're not competitively playing against each other.
So like in high school, like you would come over when we were freshmen or sophomores, and we'd sit there and we'd play through the Halo campaign.
Yeah.
But what was cool about it is that we'd sit there and we'd discuss what all the lore means.
Well, yeah, we were trying to figure out who the Forerunners were and where all this shit came from. And what's the backstory, which is legit how gaming is
Call
supposed to be.
Call of Duty doesn't do that, though. They don't really take the time and effort to put into it.
They did. It was a history game. They did at one point when it was World War II.
It was World War II, but you moved on to like Modern Warfare, Black
Yeah, but now
Ops,
they've gone back to World War II,
Warfighter,
though.
Ghosts.
But they've gone back. Now we're starting over again.
But
We've gone back to World War II.
They have like 4 or 5 different franchises out at one time.
You know who gets it right?
Who?
Battlefield.
Interesting you brought that up, because on Polygon, I
am so down. Like, I don't play PlayStation, and I don't even know if Battlefield's on Xbox. I don't think so.
Right.
But that would be a game I'd be so down to play. Because it is more like Halo than any other game that's not Halo.
So on IGN, they really loved the single-player experience in Battlefield 5. Polygon
but it also
did not.
has a great multiplayer. Like, the one knock I have about the Call of Duty multiplayer is there's no depth.
Right.
There's no depth to it.
Okay.
There's no. It's literally just you in a bowl with these people.
Okay.
Which is fun for a minute. But like Battlefield, you've got fucking airplanes, tanks, horses, trains. You've got all these parachutes, people coming across. I mean, so many different things. It's just a so much better fleshed out game.
Right.
Even multiplayer. It's a multiplayer heavy game, but it's still got depth. Call of Duty doesn't have depth.
Yeah.
Like in Call of Duty, like in Battlefield, you
it's
got
a very
like at a random point, this big battleship will come across the coast and hammer the coastline or the area in shells, and you have to avoid it or you'll die.
It's a very surface appearing narrative. Like it doesn't really dive into the personalities of anyone. It just like this happens. How are you going to react to it?
That's Battlefield.
No, that's Call of Duty to me.
Call of Duty is a way narrower scale.
Okay, how would you define it?
Call of Duty is more poker.
Okay.
You're playing against the other player.
Right.
Battlefield's more like roller derby.
Meaning
it's kind of like
playing.
It's a free for all.
Okay.
There is skill.
Okay.
But even people who have reckless abandon can have fun, and even novices can have fun in Battlefield.
Okay.
Because it's such a broad game.
Right.
I feel like that Call of Duty is more of a I don't want to say higher skill, but it's more of a refined skill set. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they focus on one aspect. They don't got to worry about planes. They don't got to worry about. I mean, they have like the drone strikes and all that, but they don't have to worry about other players like swooping out of the sky in a. You
don't have to worry about
an aircraft or a tank coming through the wall.
The perks.
Yeah, perks. There's perks, but there's not. You don't have to worry about attack dogs.
You have to worry about
they instantly kill you no matter what you do. Butt. Yeah, I just feel Battlefield is the more complete game.
Okay. All right. Next piece of news. Sega Genesis finally gets the HD console it deserves. This comes from Polygon by Christopher Grant. Exactly 1 year after announcing the Super NT, a product that I called the nicest 16-bit console ever held, Analog is back with the Mega SG, promising to do for Sega Genesis / Mega Drive what it's already done for the Super Nintendo. The Mega SG is powered by the same hardware that makes the Super NT possible and will ask the same $190 price. But this isn't simply more of the same. This time around, Analog has a few new tricks up its sleeve. So last year's Analog's Christopher Tabber told us, we want to do some more systems, there's no question. We'd like to go through video game history, especially a lot of the stuff that's especially or unlikely to ever get an OEM treatment from the original company like Nintendo is doing, and make systems that are made with respect and care and attention to detail and allow people to celebrate and explore those platforms. With Sega thus far failing to capitalize on the growing consumer interest in retro classic consoles, the less said about At-Game's disappointing Sega Genesis Flashback HD attempt, the better. Sega's consoles certainly seem like an obvious pick to succeed the Super Nintendo. Most people who follow us closely knew that this is going to be our next product, Tabber said. I don't think it's too hard to put the pieces together. We're just following up with what we have the duty to follow up with. It's not even a choice. It's our duty to make the ultimate Sega system, especially because there's just nothing available at all when it comes to Sega Genesis, the Mega Drive, or Master System. There's more of a void versus something like Nintendo. So Analog is making the Mega SG to fill that void. It will begin shipping in April 2019 if you want to skip all the details and instead just enjoy 6 minutes of Genesis classic Gunstar Heroes in pixel perfect 1080p. Then you can stop here, put some headphones in, and enjoy. So this there's a lot more to it, but basically the the Mega SG is boasting an HDMI output and upscaling. None of that like cheap emulator stuff that like At-Games had. Yeah, so it's and what it allows you to do so with At-Games, you notice how like I have the At-Games console downstairs, and what it does is it will let you play some cartridges, but it won't let you play all of them. With Mega SG, you can play all of your old cartridges, and it doesn't have anything built into the hard drive, but it upscales everything. So how
really? Wait. So it'll play original cartridges with better graphics?
With better graphics.
How is that possible?
I don't know. Like the just the tech that they're using, because it runs through HDMI, so it runs 1080p. So I don't know.
But how do you do that? But it was never designed to be that way. You'd have to redesign it, or it does it on the fly.
It's the same thing with like a upconverting or upscaling DVD player. You know, you have something that was originally meant to be 720 and it upscaled to 1080p. So what this is doing I don't think like you put in a copy of Streets of Rage or Golden Axe, you're not going to notice the graphic upgrades. But do you remember how like the Super Nintendo had a mode where you could play and it would add pixels into the game?
Yeah.
So you can add pixels into the game to play it how the developers meant it to be played, in case you had like one of those old black and white tube TVs.
Oh, okay.
So that's what they're doing with here is that it will upscale everything to 1080p, but it's not going to be something that's like,
okay, but you're not going to.
It's super noticeable.
It's not going to wow you like a remastered game, but it will look better.
Better.
Not great, better.
Not great, but better. And the cool thing about
Is that better?
I think so. And honestly, like the cool thing about this is with the At Games Sega Genesis console that I have, it doesn't play. It only plays like the most popular cartridges. But this you can play everything, and not only that, but it has wired controllers, so you don't have to worry about being 4 feet away from the console and have to worry about response time. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. How do you feel about do you feel like Sega Genesis needs a classic console, much like Nintendo or the Super SNES, the SNES?
Not really. I mean, its own dealy.
But retro, Forbes put out an article right now. Retro gaming
is big right now.
It's big, and
But the thing is that yes, retro gaming is big, but they're not upscaling the graphic. It's to be in its original content, retro style.
Right.
That's the big style. I feel this is a meet in the middle kind of a deal.
Okay.
Where it's not quite up to modern graphics, but it's better. I feel like let's take it back to 2000, and that's what this feels like. We're just gonna take it. We're gonna bring it a little bit further ahead, but not quite up to modern.
But don't you ever have those moments where you think about consoles
that's
you played as a kid and you wish you could play
you look
them
at it
today?
the same. You look at it the same like movies. You would never want to watch a digitally redone version of Star Wars, Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, anything, The Goonies, any of these iconic movies. You wouldn't want to be super defined. I remember like a lot of old movies, some of the best parts and the best aspects are that that's a suit. It's a guy in a suit.
Right.
Or that's a puppet. It's a puppet, but that's just adds to the mystique of the movie. That's like when they instead of using a puppet to be Yoda, they try to do a CGI version. It was terrible.
Right.
And when they in the last movie, one of the bright spots in the last Star Wars Episode 8 was when they used the original...
When the credits rolled, right?
No. Yeah. When the credits rolled. Yeah. No, when they used the original puppet of Yoda from the original trilogy. They used the original puppet.
Exactly, okay.
And it's a puppet. It looks terrible, but it just makes it better than a CGI copy.
Well, see, I got those games up there. I got Sega Spinball. I got the Pebble Beach.
Okay, let me ask you this: would you ever want to play Zelda with Final Fantasy graphics, modern Final Fantasy graphics? Would you ever want to play it?
Okay, no, I see what you're. I see.
Would you ever want to play Mario? Would Mario be the same if it had realistic graphics?
See, I was thinking about that yesterday.
If you had Forza, but it was Mario Kart, would it still be Mario?
No,
and be
it
fine?
wouldn't. That'd be Forza 1. But with Mario 64, I was thinking about this the other day. What made it so good was that you had to figure out ways to get around the pixel glitches in the game. That was half the
It just
fun.
became part of the game.
It did. Well, it's the same thing with Batman Arkham City. You had to figure out there's things that you could not do.
If they were I think it was Gears. There was one part where if you didn't do something or go a certain way, if you went a different way, the game would glitch every time.
It would.
So it was trying to avoid glitching the game. That was part of it was kind of like an obstacle in the game.
Right.
It added to the game eventually.
Well, did you ever play Batman Arkham City?
Yes.
Okay, so in that game, there's a part where you go to one place in the game and you always face this.
I forgot that was modern times.
What do you think?
It's all right.
It's got it's citrusy. It's very citrusy. It's got a weedy. It tastes like a stronger shock top to me.
Yes,
because look, you got
it's like an IPA version of a shock top.
Well, you got Mosaic, Simcoe, Euconaut, Denali, Eureka, Nugget.
Just wasn't expecting that when I tried to down.
No, but it's all citrus. It's citrus fruit. Hazy Mosaic is meant to be a juicy.
I was trying to get you to judge me for downing the beer.
It's all good. I'm not Justin. No, but in Arkham City, you go to certain places and you do certain moves, and you end up falling through the map for hours.
Halo was that way. Certain points.
Halo was like that.
If you ever on those laser bridges,
but
you would fall.
Remember with Halo, you go on to what was the snow level called? Not the multiplayer one, the single player campaign. Assault on the Control Room, right? And you have that thing where if you're playing with a buddy and you both teleport at the same time, but the other one hits the invisible, or is reloading at the time you teleport, you get infinite rockets or infinite invisibility.
You get infinite whatever you have when you pass
Right.
through. Yes,
Right,
I remember because
exactly.
we did that with the invisibility. I think.
Yeah,
It was
and
either
we
that or
just,
the
like,
rockets. Because I remember we spent we did a whole level where you just were firing rockets at everywhere.
Right, and you were invisible. So
yeah,
like
I was invisible and you were throwing rockets.
you would go in, and the people who would not turn their backs on you so you could club them, I just come in and blow them up. But we also ran into the problem where I was blowing you up every second
because you couldn't see me.
I couldn't see you.
Yeah. It was a communication problem.
It's a communication problem. But like people love retro gaming, and so like I think it's a good time. I still want to do. I'm not going to mention my idea for the documentary on air, but I love the idea of being able to play like.
Okay,
we were discussing.
Yes, I love that, but also
Going out
at the same time, it's at the same essence of the thing we're doing with the last LAN party.
Right.
Same thing.
Right, exactly. You just want to enjoy it. It's not something you want to relive over and over again, but it's something you want to enjoy one last time. So if I want to sit down and I want to play Sonic and Knuckles one more time, this is something I would definitely invest in.
I remember one of my favorite games on N64 was Rogue Squadron. You ever play that?
Yeah.
Where you're the pilot? That was such a fun game.
Is it N64? One of my favorite games on N64 was Bomberman, because it was the first Bomberman to actually have a story to it. You could play through a campaign. It's just like with Sega Genesis. I want to go back and be able to play Vector Man.
N64. You know what I played in N64? My major swing at that time was like WWE wrestling games.
Do you remember it SmackDown on PlayStation 1?
Yeah, because that was the last time I had. No, not the last time. That was the first time I had both consoles because I wanted to play SmackDown on the one and Raw on the 360.
So it's so funny. Me and my brother were talking about this the other day. How like we used to go out into the back. We did.
You know what the funny thing is the drastic change in quality.
It is.
It's so funny that we compare. We put the N64 on the same level as the PlayStation
because they were out at the same time.
But they're not equal.
They're not equal.
The PlayStation was vastly superior
because
at
the
time.
GameCube didn't come out until PlayStation 2 did.
I want to say it came out until 3.
You think?
Yes.
Because the era of the GameCube was very short because the Wii came out in 2006, I want to say.
The Wii? Well, hold on.
Let's look it up.
No, I think you're right. I think the Wii came out with PS3 and the PS2 came out with the Wii, or the Cube. Because my brother had a Cube. He still has a Cube.
2006, yeah, so I was right. November 19th.
Yes, that's the PS2 and the Cube and the original Xbox.
Right.
And then the 360, the Wii, and the PS3.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, next story. Did you hear anything about the Telltale Games closing down? Did you read any of that?
I was super disappointed.
Okay.
Because I really enjoyed the Borderlands series. I didn't ever really play the.
Do you know what I hate? Gearbox saying, "Hey, we're working on Borderlands 3, but in the meantime, you can play freaking Borderlands 2 in VR." Why would I want to do that?
Yeah, I know, right?
I played it 6 times already. Why do I want to play it in VR?
Because they're just trying to get you. They're just trying to substitute it in the meantime.
Because
they're lagging behind.
They are lagging, but I don't have the same like patience for them as I do with like Bethesda. You know?
No, I know, but like Borderlands. I really enjoyed the Tales from the Borderlands. I really enjoyed the Batman series.
I didn't like Game of Thrones.
You didn't? I didn't really care for it either. I didn't like the story. For some reason, I didn't like it because I felt like no matter what I did, I wasn't going to win.
See, I liked Walking Dead, but I was so over it.
I didn't really play The Walking Dead so much, but the Batman was fun.
Fun. I never did Guardians of the Galaxy.
I didn't do the Guardians of the Galaxy one. I did the Batman. I did
the Wolf
Tales
Among Us.
The Wolf Among Us
really
was
good.
great.
Yeah.
I was super disappointed they didn't come out with a second season.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping for.
So what do you think brought an end to Telltale? Hold on, you talk while I gotta pee.
Well, I don't know. I think someone bought them out, honestly, because it was a popular company. It was quality gaming, quality story. I feel like
they were relying too heavily on future.
They were relying
profits.
Yes, I feel like they didn't flesh out their stories enough. In certain series, they didn't. Wolf Among Us was great, very fleshed out. Borderlands, great. The Game of Thrones one, not so much. I feel like they were reaching. It wasn't quite. I like the idea of introducing new like smaller characters, but not quite the. It was just too obscure, and they tried to sprinkle some of the main story into it. It just didn't feel right. They haven't been able to make a good Game of Thrones game ever, honestly. Well, there's only two, but yeah, the first Xbox one, I think it was Xbox 360, was the Game of Thrones game, and that was more based off of the books, not the movies. So no one really gave it because it didn't look like the movies or the TV show. But the Tales from the Borderlands was directly integrated into the TV show, so that's what drew everybody in from the Game of Thrones crowd. But it just didn't feel well thought out and well written. I like the characters, I like the all that stuff, but I just feel like the story you just never felt like you could win.
Do you think that they maybe weren't deep enough into the lore of Game of Thrones yet to be able to create a successful game? Because that came out around season 3.
Okay, they used houses that were not major players in the books, which I do like. I like minor characters.
Well, it's a side story.
Yeah, it's a side story that fleshes out the lore,
Right.
honestly. But I feel like it would have been better if you played as houses that you sort of knew from the TV show and the books. Like, if you could play as a minor character, not as any of the major characters, but, like who was a major character in the it was a side character, but a major character. Like, you could play as, like, a Greyjoy, or you could play as, like, one of Robb Stark's bannermen, the Umbers or the Glovers or whatever. Or you could play as, like... a member of the Lannister family, but not quite the head people.
I didn't play it. Did you?
Yeah, no, I played it. You played as a minor house in the north, and then you also played. You played as different family members of this one house, is what it was.
Okay.
And you interacted with all the main characters in the movies or the TV shows and stuff and everything.
Right.
It was well written, and I enjoyed it, but I just felt like it would have been better if they used the more well-known, but not the quite not like the Starks and the Targaryens and stuff, but like stuff people that are mentioned and characters that you've seen in the show, but not quite. Like if you could play as like the Hound, or a member of his house, or a member of the like any of these other characters that are well-known, but not quite the main characters, like the B list, but they just went with these obscure ones that they barely mention in the books, or I think they even made it up for the game. Honestly, they just took the names and then ran with it.
Yeah.
But which is cool. I like fleshing out minor characters and stuff. But I felt like the success of this game would have been better if it had been more well-known characters and a story. Yes, you do interact with all the A-list and everything like that. But I feel you just weren't invested in those characters, honestly.
Right.
Like the Borderlands and like Batman and all that
Borderlands
stuff.
was fun.
Borderlands was fun. Batman was really cool. It was a different style, a different, story from Batman. You weren't sure where it was going to go. And then The Wolf Among Us was a completely alien story to me at the time, and I just really liked it when I started playing it. I like the idea of all your normal fairy tale characters. It's really just more of a dark, seedy reality to it.
Right.
Yeah, there's these kiddie fairy tales, but really, which is true of most modern fairy tales, is they're really actually very dark. Like, I know the original Alice in Wonderland, like, she gets raped by Tweedledee and Tweedledum and a bunch of other stuff and all that stuff.
Did you ever hear the rumors that not Pete Carroll, Lewis Carroll.
Lewis Carroll.
He was actually like a child molester. Did you ever hear those rumors? And like he wrote that book so like kids would sit on his
because
lap
don't you know
was...
in the show The Magicians, they kind of emulate that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of emulate that story of how the author of this well-known like fantasy genre, like if not to say any way that she would ever do this or has done this, but like if what's her name, J.K. Rowling, came out that she abused all these children over the years of writing the Harry Potter books, it would that's exactly what it was like.
Yeah. Nuts, dude.
Now that I've rambled.
No, you're good, dude. Telltale, like, do you think that they're...
I'm really sad that they're gone because they did tell great stories. Not so much great games because you were more just doing the stuff to progress the story in the way you would like. It was really an experiment in watching a movie that you directed. Honestly,
Right.
you ran the narrative.
Yeah.
I mean, within a certain guidelines, but you decided how your game worked out. It was a great.
Well, it was like a pick your own adventure.
It was a great. Yes, it was a great formula, and I'm really sad that it's gone because I don't think we're going to have another one like it in a while.
Well, here I did not read the article. Skybound Games is currently finalizing an agreement with Telltale Games to finish the final season of Walking Dead. Hopes to release episode 3 by the end of the year and have episodes 1 and 2 back up for sale later this month, according to comments by its CEO during an AMA on Reddit that took place yesterday evening. We'll be back on sale as soon as possible. I'd hope we can do this by the end of October. Ian Howe wrote in response to one commenter's questions about when the final season's completed episodes would be back up for purchase. They had been taken down at the end of September, less than 2 weeks after Telltale announced a majority studio closure. As for episode 3, which Kotaku previously reported was nearly complete, Howe said the team is aiming for a release sometime in 2018. I fully expect episode 3 to be done this year, and I'll be very disappointed if we can't make this happen, he said. Still, according to Howe's responses, much of the series' future remains up in the air. Howe confirmed that no one is currently working on any of the episodes and that details of the deal between Skybound and Telltale announced at New York Comic Con are still being hammered out, while the company has reached out to many former Telltale developers who were working on the game's final season. It's still being decided as to who may get rehired and what the terms of the contacts will be. At this stage, we're still in discussion with various members, blah, 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 blah. So you heard that people who downloaded or who purchased the season pass for The Walking Dead Season 4 would be... all the content was removed from online. So, like, if you didn't get episodes 1 and 2, it was taken down, so you can't get it anymore.
Yeah, that's cool, and it's super cool, but I just wish somebody would pick it up and revitalize it.
But do you think it's fair to the people who paid for it? Like, they paid $60 for a Season 1 content pass, and they're not going to get the full product out of it?
I think they should be refunded part of their purchase, honestly. If you're only getting part of the product, you should only have to pay part of the price.
But do you think that them completing the season would make up for that?
Yes. Well, if you get a full season, then yeah.
Okay.
It's worth the season pass you paid for because you get the whole season.
Right.
But if you're only going to get part of a season, I feel you should only pay part of the price, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's just such a blow because it was such great storytelling.
Yeah.
I mean, in a world dominated by unstory-driven games, you know, all these like battle royale games and multiplayer games, heavy games. I feel like the art of telling a story, kind of like movies, it's kind of like telling a story in a game. I feel is kind of like lost.
Telltale. Did you want to split this? Is that why you got that open?
No, I was just trying to make you drink it.
Did you already have something filled?
Remember, I'm an enabler. I'm trying to pull you along with me. I just poured myself a new one. Yes, I did.
Don't
judge me.
Do you think
I'm going
that...
to pull you back down to my level, buddy. You're going to live in the muck.
Live in the muck.
Just embrace it.
Well, how do you think that Telltale should have handled the closure of their studio a little better?
Well, how are they going to handle it better?
Well, I feel like they were relying
I feel like...
They knew. I think that they knew that they were going to close down, but then telling their employees that they had, they had to clear out their offices right away, and they had a week worth of health care. Like they should have been able to predict. Like that's the job of someone who works in finances. That's their job to predict how far ahead of time the company can last.
Okay,
and
here's a question.
Sounds like
did they ever release their games on disc, or is it strictly digital?
No, they've released their games on disc.
Okay, here's the thing. Is that, yes, those games are a player-driven story,
right?
As in you direct the narrative.
Yeah.
But they didn't quite really have a whole lot of replay value.
No, they didn't, for sure.
Like, yeah, there's different ways you could take this story, but I feel like you weren't really missing out on a whole lot.
Right.
Like I remember, like, in, like, let's say Mass Effect. Even though I know Brian hates that series. I love that series. But
we need to quiz him on that one day. Why he didn't like Mass Effect?
He doesn't like story-driven games. That's the person who doesn't really care for story-driven games. He's more of the multiplayer PUBG kind of battle royale kind of game. That's why.
It's not FIFA. I don't want to play it.
You kind of. We love you, Brian. I'm just joking. But
at least your knee is not injured, right?
Okay, she used one that everybody liked, Skyrim. Like there were parts in Skyrim where you had to choose between doing one part or the other. One storyline or the other, like when you could either choose between the Empire or the Stormcloaks,
right?
Or versus vampires versus the I can't can't remember the damn name of the organization, but whatever. Like you would always save it right then, so you could go back, reload it, and then go the other way.
Well, because you didn't know what you were going to be offered from each party.
Yeah, but see, I feel like Telltale Games lacked that. There was, it might be slightly different, but kind of the same outcome. Like the Game of Thrones one, I feel like no matter what choice I did, I was going to lose.
Right.
I feel like those, which is kind of more. I guess it's exactly how a Game of Thrones game should be. Is you should expect to lose because all the characters you like lose, and they die. So it makes sense that his game would be like that, where you just, no matter what you did, you lose.
Right.
But the Borderlands one, I really enjoyed it.
I liked it.
And the Wolf Among Us, great game, great story. And I feel like they didn't release enough content for those good storylines soon enough.
Right.
I feel like there was too much time in between seasons. Like Borderlands only got one season. Wolf Among Us, which was their first one, only had one season.
So
the only one who got a second season or multiple seasons was The Walking Dead.
Well, so Tales from the Borderlands, from what I understand, was supposed to bridge the gap between Borderlands 2 and 3, but they haven't released 3 yet, so we don't know like if it was worth the effort.
Oh, I don't know. I was just as jazzed for the second season of the Game of Thrones one because they said they were releasing a second season at one point in time.
But do you think that Telltale kind of overreached, like they should have stuck to their own original properties as opposed to
Like what original properties?
The
Wolf Among Us
Us.
that was a comic series.
But they reached out, like they purchased the rights
but that's an obscure comic book that's only known to diehard fans.
No, I know, but
you're jumping into something like Borderlands or Game of Thrones,
cheap, right? That was cheap for
Walking Dead.
Whereas, like you could have done.
Well, that's like I said. Their first product was The Wolf Among Us. That was their launch.
Was it worth it for them to buy Game of Thrones or Guardians of the Galaxy or Batman? Should they have not just focused on their own original content? Because
you had to.
People did like the cheaper properties, though the less well-known properties like Wolf Among Us. People like that, and they could have developed that further and built up a bankroll instead of going out and buying all these big Hollywood properties.
Yes, which is what I was going to say, is that I feel like they didn't focus enough on their content.
Minecraft was another big one. They were working with Netflix to create a Minecraft series.
Like, why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Minecraft is mindless. There's no point to that game, honestly. It's a time killer is what it is.
Right.
But like these are story games. It's like watching TV. Honestly, you play through.
Yeah.
But they didn't get it, the content. They didn't market it well. They had great content, but the business side they didn't do anything right.
Right.
I mean, they had these great series, but they didn't crank out the content enough.
Yeah.
Like I said, everything they did was one season.
Okay.
So you made these people invest in these great stories, and then you never gave them the satisfaction of giving a second run.
Right.
Like I said, the only one who got a second run was The Walking Dead. But you had
they got
5 or 6.
They got 4 more runs.
Yeah, that got the most runs.
Yeah.
Whereas you had the other properties that it could have been so much more successful.
Right.
I feel like you just focused in on what you thought was going to be the biggest moneymaker, which was Walking Dead, because it's like Game of Thrones.
Well,
I'm surprised you didn't go hard on Game of Thrones.
They should have focused on that more instead of reaching out and creating all these other properties.
Yes and no.
Yeah. All right, we should move on.
But yeah, we could talk about this for a long time.
From NintendoLife.com, written by Liam Doolan, former American President Barack Obama doesn't care about Pokemon, so go and vote. Here, we'll go down to the article here. That's a lot of head.
That's a lot of head, you're going to say?
It's all in the way you pour it, I think.
Yes, I'm well aware. That's why I'm so good that I don't have one.
Citizens of America, the former and 44th President of the United States, wants you to vote in the upcoming midterm elections. Sitting down with media company ATTN recently, Barack Obama made it clear he didn't care about 7 common excuses used by your friends for not voting. Right off the bat, the biggest reason I don't care about politics was addressed. If that's you, Obama has a special message. He doesn't care about Pokemon, but he knows it's going to keep on coming back, just like we all do. That's why you apparently need to vote. Admittedly, it's a bit of questionable analogy. His point is, if you don't vote, certain people will keep on returning, and that's exactly what these powerful figures want, for you to not be concerned about voting. Then when you opt out, it allows other people to fill that void and enables them to do nothing about the things you would like to see the government do. So if you want to stop any powerful leaders' plan from plans from actually going ahead. Throw them out by voting. Take a look at the full list, blah, 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 blah.
Did we just become political?
We did. All I really care about right there is that Obama doesn't care about Pokemon, and I feel like that will divide political powers for years to
I feel
come.
like you just alienated us.
Did I? Obama doesn't care about Pokemon.
Because you just took a side.
Obama?
You totally sound like a Trumper right now.
I didn't take a side. I
Yes,
just
you
made
did.
it clear.
You were just downing Obama right now.
I made it clear that Obama doesn't care about Pokemon. So,
and Trump's calling people
are you
horse
going to
face.
use a Night Stone, a Moonstone, a Water Stone on Eevee? Trump doesn't give a crap. He's going to do whatever he wants because he doesn't care about Pokemon. Are you going to use that stone to wake up that Snorlax on Route 52?
That's a flute, bro.
He doesn't care, man.
It's a flute, bro.
Are you going to use those, put Rare Candy in position 6 and go to a Pallet Town or whatever and surf up and down the coast? He doesn't care. He just wants you to vote. So are politics going to allow us to destroy our opinions of Pokemon? That's my question.
I can't tell
to
if
you.
you're against the right or the left. You're all over the map. You're just trying to get people to vote.
I'm in the middle.
Just go. It doesn't matter if it's random. Just go down and mark a
Facebook's algorithms have identified me as independent. So let's.
Josh doesn't care who you vote for. Just vote.
Oh, good Lord. That's such a different taste than modern
Just
times.
like it.
So how do we feel about this? As a longtime Pokemon fan, I know we discussed...
Okay. You played way further than I did. I stopped...
One of the first things...
I stopped at Silver and Gold.
One of the first things that we discussed when we became friends was Pokemon Red, okay?
I'm not denying my and I'm still enthusiastic, but I couldn't play the same game for the millionth time, dude.
You made a joke about Charizard, and then we were friends. We were friends for life after that.
I know, but I'm just saying. But how long can you play the same game?
No, but you can play Pokemon for a long time. It's a good game.
Okay.
It's the beginner's RPG. It's an RPG light.
It's a gateway.
It's a gateway drug to like Final Fantasy and all the other stuff.
Yes, in a way that I love Pokemon. I love the idea.
Kyle,
okay, hold on. I like the idea, and it's because I like this genre. It's probably why I like this genre. I like I like RPGs with a party, where you have a party of people that you play with, like not players but NPC characters.
Okay.
I like how you could build your own team the way you wanted it in Pokemon. It was the same way in like Dragon Warrior and all those games and Dragon Warrior Monsters, and where you built a team of the way you wanted it with the skills you wanted, and you would fight these characters.
And there are things you couldn't do on one console, but you could do on the other. Like if you didn't have...
Well, that's okay. That's like how you would like... Each version, red, blue, and yellow, had their own like unique Pokemon that you could get.
Right.
So it would encourage you to trade with people who played a different version.
If on red you got a Charmander, and on blue you got a Squirtle, you wouldn't have to create a new save file. You could just open up a new game, trade it to your buddy, and then go back to your old game.
Yeah.
You could cheat the system. Same thing with Mew.
That's what I always did. After I beat the game a couple times with the standard characters, like I didn't want to start out with Squirtle, Charmander, and the Vine guy, Bulbasaur, or Pikachu. I wanted an obscure Pokemon, so I would like at the beginning of the game. No, I'd trade.
Don't be so edgy, dude.
I'd trade
a Kakuna.
No,
Weedle.
No,
you were a
no,
Weedle
no.
fan,
What
right?
was the goldfish that turned into the dragon? Yeah, that was my first Pokemon. No. Like I would trade for like
Gyarados. It was like level 32, I think it turned into.
No, but like I'd trade for like a Cubone or something, an obscure Pokemon, Nidoking,
Scyther, was actually pretty
or
damn good.
a Rhydon or something like that.
Scyther turned into Sizor at level like 22, I think.
Yeah. Or you'd get like just
Safari
something
Zone.
that isn't the main focus of the TV show or the anime or the comics or anything. I would always like to start the game out as like...
Did you know in the cartoon, Ash was originally supposed to marry Misty in the end, and they're supposed to have kids, but it was so popular that they kept it going, and that never happened.
Well, yeah, because he kept meeting new women. Every season he was the same, and the chick was different.
Ash is a player. He's a player who never aged. He's like Russell Crowe of anime.
Russell Crowe ages. I would like him to Keanu Reeves, who doesn't age.
Russell Crowe never ages,
What
though.
are you talking about? He looks vastly different than he did when he was younger. Keanu Reeves looks exactly the same.
He looks older, but not old. You know,
He's fat. He's bigger. Not fat. He's just bigger. He's older. He's
but
bigger.
like if he
doesn't look like he did in Gladiator.
If he decided to go on a diet, he looks like he could still play Maximus if he wanted to.
Keanu Reeves in John Wick looks like Neo with a beard. He looks exactly the same.
He pretty much is Neo with a beard.
No, he is. But I'm just saying
dog died. Like,
he didn't
that's the
get
only
fat.
difference.
He didn't change. He's the same person forever. Kate Beckinsale, for Christ's sake.
Oh my gosh, dude.
She's been the same for the last 20 years. She is legit a vampire.
I had a poster of her for
And I am super disappointed in you that you got rid of
10
it.
years of my life.
You had that screensaver when she did the Pepsi ad.
Dude, she's in the bikini?
Yeah.
Good
It was
lord.
a screensaver forever.
Oh my gosh. Hey.
Right up until he discovered...
Hey, can we cheers to that, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right up
Keep
until
back
he changed his idea until he in a game that we previously played on a different podcast that he liked Isabel Lucas more than he liked Kate Beckinsale.
Dog, don't even get me started on Isabel Lucas, though.
What do you mean get started? I don't understand how you can like somebody better than someone who's established. Isabel Lucas didn't do.
Oh my gosh.
After
dude.
the one movie.
Maybe it was that tail, but I don't know. And
I
Transformers.
think you just wanted to screw a robot. Honestly, you are just way ahead of the game with the sex bots.
It's a sex bot, dude. And like now that they can say no to me, like the game is on, dude. You know?
Now that I know they're robots, they're exactly like real human beings. I'm down. Real people. I'm just gonna go for the robot that are just like them.
There's a game afoot, you know? All right, last article
Josh
here.
is legit Krillin.
Might be, dude.
No, what do you mean might be? You crave the hot android chick.
Yeah, Goku. You know, in the opening episode of Dragon Ball Super, you know how they reintroduced Krillin?
Huh.
They asked Krillin, goes, I just want to see if
You
I
know
could...
Krillin has a baby?
He has a baby. I forget what her Meryl, I think
Yeah.
her name is. But he goes up to Goku and
Which is
says,
funny because he named his kid with a number one after an ex-girlfriend.
Right. But he
Super weird.
He not names, but he goes up to Goku and says, hey, Goku, I just want to know if I can stand a fight with you these days. And so he goes, please punch me. And Goku punches Krillin, and he punches him pretty much all around the world. Like, he socks him, and he just... whoosh.
It is you. You are Krillin.
But I always ask you if you can take that guy first, so it's
Same deal.
It's not a big thing. All right, our last article comes from IGN. It's written by Jordan Serrani, if that is his real name. Microsoft has partnered with Taco Bell to give fast food lovers a chance to win an Xbox One Platinum Limited Edition bundle. In addition to an exclusive color scheme, the bundled console features a unique power on sound, the recognizable ring regularly heard at the end of the Taco Bell commercials. The bundle also includes 3 months of Xbox Games Pass, 3 months of Xbox Live Gold, and a white Xbox Elite wireless controller. The promotion will run from October 18th through November 21st. To enter the giveaway, simply purchase a $5 double chalupa box from Taco Bell and text your unique and listed number. Winners will be selected every 10 minutes throughout the promotion, with bundles being delivered in as early as 72 hours. The Platinum Xbox One X is the second color variation of Microsoft's premium console to be revealed this year. The first ever white Xbox One was announced in late August as part of a Fallout 76 bundle. The console will be available starting November 14th for $500 USD. For more on Xbox One, please check out which features were recently added to the system as part of its October update. So... this has kind of reignited the console war between Xbox lovers and PlayStation lovers. I've been seeing a lot of stuff online where PlayStation people are like, finally a reason for me to purchase an Xbox. And I always personally thought that the Xbox versus PlayStation battle was stupid because each has their own unique games that are worth playing. Like, for example, PlayStation has God of War, Xbox has Halo. So... Big Dog, I want to ask you this. In the Xbox versus PlayStation feud, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like PlayStation fanboys really just give no credit to Microsoft where it's due?
Yes, I feel like PlayStation give Microsoft its due, and PC gamers don't give...
The Master Race? Let's make sure we call it
the Master Race doesn't give them their due, but what they all can agree on is they all hate mobile gaming.
Fair enough.
They can all gang up on mobile games. But at the top, you've got PC, then you got PlayStation, and you got Xbox,
But
and
why-
then mobile gaming. Not that the games are better, just they have this mystique of being the upper echelon for some reason.
Why do you think Sony hates mobile games so much? Or no, Sony,
Everybody
fans.
hates mobile games just because they're clunky and they're not really a game. They're more of a time waster.
Because if you look at
money pit, if you will.
Sony's hesitance to invest in the cross-platform play with Fortnite, for example, you
okay, get this. Okay, there's an episode. I want to say it's an episode of South Park where, like, they release this game, and it's a great game, and they release this stupid, so off the wall that people think it's cool and they buy it, which is exactly the formula of Fortnite.
But PlayStation, even
Like,
when
why do you feel the need to spend your money on you spend $5
right,
so you can run around in a game in a bunny suit
it's
killing
the skins,
people?
man. You gotta love 'em.
Like, why does that matter to you? But they've somehow figured it out that that's what people want, is this like stupid that they're willing to pay money for just because it's exclusive if you pay money. They want to be part of the group.
It's the VIP pass.
It's like everybody wanted to be part of the it crowd.
But it's almost like Sony's views towards Microsoft and Nintendo bleed into their fans. So you have, like, even when Sony finally said, hey, sorry. Sony said, hey, we're doing research into cross-platform play for Fortnite. They even came across and said that they were doing PlayStation is still, we want to prove that PlayStation is still the best place to experience these things on. How do you feel about that, though? Do you feel like if Sony had a little more hubris, that the inter-company relations would be a lot better?
Well, yeah. I mean, it was just recently that, the PlayStation community agreed, or not the PlayStation community, but the heads of PlayStation or Sony have decided to get with the picture and do cross-platform games.
Because that's what people want.
That's what people want, because they want to
Right.
connect with everybody else. Like, you have a friend who so happens to have PlayStation. He's playing the same game. You can't play together.
Right.
I mean, really, it's about making the communities bigger. Instead of having these different camps, you're making one camp, gaming camps. Instead of having PlayStation, PC, Microsoft, and mobile, instead of having all those camps, it's one camp. You're just
Right.
having, like, everybody plays Fortnite, which is whatever. But everybody can play Halo. Everybody can play against anybody on the world on Battlefield,
Well, that's
Call
like
of Duty. It's just making a community a community. Instead of having all these warring factions, which, yeah, it kind of creates buzz and hype and all this stuff, but really what gamers really truly care about is community and experience.
It is.
Experience. You're looking for a experience. Every time you get online or on Xbox Live or anything, or just Xbox or gaming in general, you're looking for an experience. And
Yeah,
so,
but here's the thing, too. Like, I'm hoping that you will go with me to E3 this year, but you go to even places like E3 and you have all these people who, like, it is about the community. You go there and you don't have the divisions between Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo. You have people who are genuinely stoked to see what the future of gaming is bringing. And all these people can come together on certain issues, but you always have the people who stay at home and like, oh, PlayStation is better than Xbox. But Xbox has been working so hard, especially since Phil Spencer took over, to create original IPs and power up old properties. That Sony has God of War, granted, Order 1866 or whatever.
great game, never really had a sequel.
Right, but they have all these games, but you don't.
Gran Turismo.
They have all these properties that are like
What's
exclusive.
the Tomb Raider? No, Tomb Raider's cross-platform. No, the Nathan Drake series.
Uncharted.
Uncharted.
You have all these games that are
God of
excellent,
War.
but
All these games that are freaking amazing that I've never played. I've never played a God of War game.
I think that
Never played a Uncharted game ever.
if Sony wants to survive the coming like storm, whereas like more people are playing Switch and PC than ever before, if they want to survive this, they have to dive into cross-platform play, because they have people who you have kids who have Xbox, Nintendo, or whatever. They want to play Fortnite with their friends, right? So you don't want to go to Sony and be like, hey, I can't play Destiny or Rocket League or whatever. All right, well, that's enough on the Xbox versus PlayStation battle. Video games coming out this week. October 23rd, we have Crayola Scoot coming out on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Just Dance 2019 on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, Wii U, Xbox 360, and Wii. We also have Nickelodeon Kart Racers, PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, Spider-Man Heist DLC on PS4, and My Hero 1's Justice, PC, PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch. Big Dog, you looking forward to any of these things? You're a big fan of My Hero 1, right? Academia?
Oh, yeah, super.
So would you be willing to give the video game a chance?
Probably. I feel like it's going to be just like Dragon Ball Z games.
It was like a fighting game?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm down. I mean, I'm super down. I'm just,
I'm gonna.
It's the same thing. I wish they did like an RPG version of Dragon Ball.
Right.
Or Dragon Ball Z.
That was what was like Game Boy was the thin Game Gear shaped one. Not
it was
it
DS.
Was that?
Was it DS?
DS or Advance?
No, DS was the one that was slim and it folded up.
They had the Legend of Goku, where it's kind of like an RPG type thing.
Yes. But I would like a console version or something.
But if I reached out to the devs of My Hero 1, would you play it and give us a short
totally,
review? Yeah. All right, I'll reach out to them. Then October 26th, we have Red Dead Redemption 2 on PS4 and Xbox One. God bless any poor soul who feels like they need to release a game in the wake of Red Dead. All right, on next week's episode, we'll have a moment of silence for all the poor, misguided games that decided to come out in the week following Red Dead. For now, this has been another episode of the PCC Gamescast. If there's anything we messed up or you have any comments or questions, feel free to send us an email at popculturecosmos@gmail.com. In the meantime, feel free to follow us on social media at Pop Culture Cosmos on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and download us wherever it is you get your podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Big Dog, any closing comments?
Diversify yourself. Play all kinds of games.
Play all the games, guys. You
Play
heard
them
it.
all.
And girls, you heard it here
Never know what
first.
you like.
You never know. Try everything once, we always say, right?
Sure.
All right, guys, until next time. And girls, sorry, I don't know why I'm being sexist on this podcast.
It's your innate behavior.
It's been a pleasure. Later.
Looking for an edge the next time you take on your favorite video game? Then check out Vitabrace High Performance Gamer Wristbands. Packed with the power of fruit seed oil, Vitabrace is clinically proven to help improve performance, giving you a better gaming experience. Head to miraclefruitoil.com and use the promo code MEDIA10 to get $10 off your Vitabrace purchase. Whether you're looking to beat the time on your latest speedrun or are fighting your way to the top on your favorite multiplayer or battle royale, Vitabrace can help you reach your gaming goals. Buy Vitabrace today at miraclefruitoil.com. That's miraclefruitoil.com. Vitabrace. Win with it.